Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye, Roy.
For those of you that are here, you're seeing a little video clip of a. I will do it again. Start it again. Small video clip of a baby turkey that I captured like a week or so ago, and figured we'll start off the show with a little video. This was shot in 4K 120. I did not slow it down. This is the actual speed, and I did not do any editing on it because obviously I would not show the guy's legs in the picture here in the video, but thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing a baby turkey. I've never seen one that small before. I've seen them quite a bit bigger. And Randall's joining us here, so welcome for the June 6th Photo Lounge image review. We have 96 images tonight. And I'm going to try to end the show at midnight because I'm a little bit sauced up on some pills right now. We won't get into details. So I'm going to try to end it at midnight, Eastern Daylight Time. And but once again, I thank everybody for sending in the images that they did. I mean, we got a very great group of people that consistently send in images for the show, or we wouldn't have this show. I mean, it wouldn't be in this format anyway if we didn't get the images. So I appreciate that from everybody. And I'm going to go across the panel. Everybody can say what they're up to or what they haven't been up to. And then we will say hi to everybody in the chat, and we will start showing the images because we got quite a few to go through. So we'll go clockwise. We'll start with you, Terry.
Well, recovering from my surgery, recovering from my cold. Yeah, everything is all right.
Life is good.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I'm still playing with my bunch of photographs, and yeah,
Yeah, you got. I'll later on, if you hang on, like a few minutes after the show is over, I'll throw you my opinion out about a question you asked earlier
okay.
on your presentation.
Oops. All right.
Nothing bad. Just an opinion.
I know you are polite enough to cover it.
I don't beat on anything, not even insects. So I'm a very, very calm guy. Gustavo, I know you've been. People will see it tonight in some of the images that you sent in. What you've been up to. It's nice to have nature literally
coming
in your backyard and fighting for your camera. Almost, I mean, I feel so sad for you that you're in that situation.
I have been. Spring continues. Actually, this morning was crazy, but we'll save that story for next time. But no, I have been organizing some travel, but also taking care of ailments, and so I finished at least with my dental treatment. So my next checkup is about 4 months. So I'm good today. Maybe tomorrow not so good, but I'm good today. So
for now we are okay.
For now, and spring keeps me busy. So I'm sure that I will have some images to share. And apart from that, we have been talking about calendar because there is some complication. So at the end of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about the calendar and upcoming presentations, etc., etc.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Chuck, what have you been up to, man?
I've been mowing the grass. That's fun. And
watching it rain.
Yeah, well, not too bad, but we're watching for the weather to change, and we just finally got into 40 or 80 degrees from everybody, or for every whatever, and it's not, it's nice. We had some 60 days for day, 1 or 2. Nah.
60 degree days. 60
Yeah.
degree days. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, just doing, going by one day at a time.
Well, 80's nice as long as it's not too humid.
Yeah.
80's pretty darn good. I'd take 80 any day. I'm sure Randall is begging for 80.
It's been beautiful today. It's been raining about pretty much the past 2 weeks. Mosquitoes are killing us.
Yeah, your audio is
Bad.
is odd. It's not clear and quite loud enough.
Got it.
You got it. You figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like you were talking to us from a closet or a basement or something, and
I got this one. I had to go.
Randall, not that you haven't done your show from the closet, because you have. So,
yeah, you have done your show in the closet.
but this, that was intended. This is not intended today.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't been in this studio for a while, so I thought, well, let me try it. And then I just remembered I changed that light, and I'm looking at myself, and I look like I'm a ghost. So I don't know. Yeah, I needed more light. So okay, let me put that light. Hey, it looks pretty good. And I'm looking at myself now. I'm like,
Oops.
so,
Here you go. Here's commentary from the Peanut Gallery.
Yes.
You're in a fish tank, man.
Not anymore. We got you out of the tank. All right.
So let's say hi to everybody in the chat. So we've got Robert Varner, who's always here to fill the body count, which is good. And David Stewart is he's been very active. He's been with some friends doing some things, and is just going to be in the chat tonight. He's not going to be on the panel, but he'll communicate with us through the chat. So we say hi to him, and we got Jeff and Leslie, which is great, and Ted is here, aka Art Bear. Ted, I hope you're doing good. I hope maybe someday we'll find that Minolta camera for you that we've been looking for that we haven't had any luck getting. We got Robert from Connecticut, and let's see who else we got. We got Mozman obviously is here. Tim is here, which is great. We got Jim, real Nikon lover. Hello. And J-Rod is here. Good to see you, J-Rod. Hey, J-Rod, if you have time, I know maybe, right now is a little late, but feel free to send me a couple images for next month's photo review if you have time. I'm sure you've been out there getting eagle shots. Michael Dries is here. Michael sent some real nice shots. He's been traveling again, so you're going to get to see some of the nice places that he got to see recently, which should be on everybody's bucket list. And obviously, let's see. Luis is here. Weather's fine where he is, he's saying. And did I miss anybody? Anita's here. Hello, Anita. Anita, you're welcome to join in. And Michael, you're welcome to join in if you want to come on the panel. The link should have been at the beginning of the show if you want to come in and join us. Rakesh, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're out there getting some nice street shots. And I think we've caught up. So, and Bob's here. Bob, our photos just popped in. So hello, Bob. And Bob, you're not the first one tonight. Randall beat you. Randall's going to be the first one up the bat, and then Bob, then you're up after Randall. So Randall's saying enough of Bob being first. I'm gonna I'm going to send in images 5 minutes after the last show and make sure I'm the first one. And that's it. Let's see if I have. Don't forget, like, if you have any questions on any of the images. I mean, I can't see the chat when I'm sharing the images. Put a QQQ in the front. Guys on the panel pick up on it and interject, and we'll have a conversation about anything that you want. Oh, I want to send out my congratulations. I had a little bit of communication with John Ishii in recent times, and for those of you who don't know, his wife Diana Ishii is an extremely skilled fine art photographer. She shoots with, Hasselblads and Fuji gear and Leicas and stuff like that. And she had one of her images got selected for display in the Edward Hopper Museum, which is it's at 82nd North Broadway in Nyack, New York, about 25 miles north of Midtown Manhattan. So if there's anybody here that lives in that area in Manhattan and you want to see her work, her image, it's at the event's titled Hopper Happens. If they're going to display her image along with others from June 1st through July 5th, 2026. And I think the museum is part museum and part, they do classes there. It's very interactive. It looks like a fancy old house is what it looks like from the pictures that I've seen. But if you're in that neck of the woods, check out her image, because it's kind of a big deal to have your image selected to be in that particular museum. So
we may contact her, get invited, so that she can talk about her photos, because that would be great.
Yeah, maybe once the show's over, send us the image and we'll share it on the show, next photo review. So that was good news. And from there, I think that we will dive right into the pictures. So let me set up everything here.
So Rakesh is asking, what's her name again?
What? Who?
What is the name? I presume of the gallery.
Oh, yeah. The name of the show is, let me get back to it here, is called Hopper, Hopper, Hopper Happens. And it's going to be displaying a bunch of images from, I don't know how many, but from different artists. And at the Edward Hopper Museum, which is on 82 North Broadway, Nyack, New York, 10960, about 25 miles north of Midtown Manhattan. So if you're able to go, you might want to check out that.
We need to check if she's coming to the U.S. Maybe she dragged Mr. Ishii as well.
Yeah, and then we'll send Chuck out on a mission and meet up with him somewhere. So let me get things set up here. I'm a little bit compromised here, so give me a second. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those nights.
Yeah, I just got done with the dental also this week. So,
Oh, join the club.
yeah. I'm almost done with my medicine.
So Randall, you are going to be the first guy up. I hate to tell you.
Okay.
No pressure. Let me make sure this is maximized on the. This is a pain moving everything around.
I will check.
Let me just see if this is. Is that it, Gustavo? That's the.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
looks good.
Okay, so let me get to where I can see the Lightroom. All right, so Randall sent in a series of images, and so we're going to let him talk about them.
Full
So
screen?
we are going to start with, let me get my cheat sheet up here. And okay, Randall, take it away.
Screen.
Okay. I bought the Nikon ZF, the Cognac Brown, and I had a lens on there that it says it's 50 millimeters, but actually I think it's I had a Leica um, um, lens on there. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I think it was a Voigtlander, and I was shooting uh, um, with an adapter. I'm trying to remember the adapter, but anyway, it would autofocus through the adapter. So it would move the lens back and forth until I got the picture. And that's what I was taking the pictures with. I forget what Voigtlander it was, but it was attached to the ZF. I went to the Sunken Gardens. And the reason why I took this lens is just by looking at the first picture, look to the left at the bokeh, with the greenery in the back. It's
Yeah,
all,
your metadata says this was a 50 millimeter f1.
Yeah. Right. And the thing is, it was like a 4.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Randall, just a second here, because Bob Rosato is saying there is this space here, Jeff. I don't know if you see if you look at the image,
Yeah, it's not full screen as usual.
exactly. So there is a lot
You
of
have a
black
cap on top and bottom.
on the
Oh, let's reposition.
So I
Do
don't
you
know.
have a YouTube on a cine style?
Maybe you're sharing that other screen, or you are sharing or not sharing the window, because there is a lot of empty black space on the side.
Yes, the background of the dunes is visible.
Well, I've got I this is basically showing you
Look at that, correct? I mean, you can
If
see
you
Yeah.
press,
that's better.
Yeah,
if you press,
trouble is to do that. I can't see my
Yeah, that's fine. I can see the picture pretty well.
well, let me try something else here.
is there actually half the pixel
We're gonna
that usually.
experiment here. I can see if I can
you see. I see your mouse that is
I'm gonna
moving.
try to make that big again.
You
You like that better?
Didn't change.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen anything.
chair.
I do like Chuck's cat, though. He's growing.
Yeah.
do on sharing,
Unless we
and then chair again, because I can try to share from our presentation later on, and let me see if I can have something, just to know if it's your side or not. So let me put this on presentation mode. Okay, so if I share this one, this was supposed to be funny for later on, but I can share it now. And then I'm sharing a window, and let's see where we got the same problem. Now you see, when I share the window, look,
It's a bit better.
you see, it occupies the whole. So I don't have a left on this side, Jeff. So try to. So I'm going to unshare. We come back to that.
oh, I see what it is. I know what it is.
Okay.
I can see how it was okay, let's try this. We'll try it again.
No, you still have that left.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we continue this way.
No, I mean, if I do,
You're sharing the window where you have the live room window, correct?
yeah, I'm sharing a window right out of Lightroom. Yes.
Oh.
Did you maximize it? On the lower right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that little box. Sometimes if you hit that box, it'll maximize it. Lower right on the screen.
Yeah,
You'll see
that's full screen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But Jeff, that's what
Your
I was
mouse,
saying. Are you sharing window screen? Share a window, not a screen.
No, I am. I'm sharing the window.
Okay. Because you see, when you share a window, you cannot get out of the window, and I see your cursor is out of the window.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't.
Looks like you're sharing the screen, not the window.
Exactly. Well, we continue. Go ahead.
Well, you are sharing a window. That's how you have to do it. You got to share. You have to share a window.
Then try to make bigger the Lightroom. Maximize the Lightroom.
See,
Yeah. Try moving the window. See if that.
Let me. Yeah, because yeah, I'm in fit.
But if you see, you move your cursor, so now you're working on that.
Well, I have the window on another screen.
Yeah.
Which is why you're not seeing my cursor.
No, I see your cursor.
We can see that cursor.
But the cursor gets out of the window, like if you were sharing the screen. Put your cursor on the thumbnail of Lightroom. You see, and then you move your cursor outside the Lightroom window. Yeah. You even further to the left. You see, you are now outside Lightroom window, and you can still see your cursor. I mean, you're sharing the screen.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I have to click on the Lightroom itself, and then
if
the
you
window will open up. Yeah.
If you double click the top bar, there. At the maximum.
That's the maximum.
Well, let's continue.
Yeah. All right.
I can.
I don't want to delay the show today, particularly with 96 images.
So anyway, I was at the Sunken Gardens. It was also called the Japanese Tea Garden. During World War II, they took it away and changed it to the Chinese Tea Garden. But since all was forgiven, it's now the Japanese Tea Garden or Sunken Gardens. It was an old quarry given to the city, and they put a lot of plants, water, fish. It's just a beautiful place. But anyway, I was trying this M mount from Leica. It's a Voigtlander. I forget what lens it was, but it was about a 15 millimeter, and the bokeh on it was just unreal. I mean, it was gorgeous. And if you look at the beautiful flowers, and then to the left of the bokeh on the left, I just fell in love with the lens. And I think I sent you a whole bunch of pictures, didn't I, Jeff?
Yeah, yes, you did.
Oh, okay. So this one, uh, the reason why I did these pictures to send them to you is just to show you the bokeh in the background, and then also what is sharp and clear in the front. And I've also, I think, did some pictures too where it was both, where the front was kind of blurred, it was sharp in the middle, and then it was blurred in the back. But I wanted to share these pictures because, uh, with this lens, uh, and once someone starts doing, I'll find that lens and then I'll give you some information later. I'll put it in the comments, whatever. But I've never seen anything like it. I just loved it. Uh, Walking around with that ZF, I've gotten so many people come up to me and says, "What type of film camera is that? That looks gorgeous." And I had to tell them that I had the adapter for the M mount on the Nikon ZF, and it autofocuses, and they liked it. So, but I don't know what flower it is. All I know is that the images were gorgeous. I did do a video on it, and I'm sorry, I just forget the name of the lens. But that's the second picture. Let's see.
It just-
Okay, so this one was I think my first one that I sent you. Maybe not. They may be all out of order. But these were converted. I used the Photos app on Apple, and I kind of spruced up the colors and stuff just to show off the flower. But when I was there, it was before all the rain. They removed a lot of the flowers. They were replanting at the time, and they were cleaning out the water because it was kind of too green and stuff. But there's one little flower was in the middle, and you can see there's nothing around it, and it was just gorgeous. And that
Is that
flower
bigger
was,
now or no, guys?
no, it's the same size.
Yeah, see, it looks like it's a lot bigger on my screen.
Yeah.
You know, it says hit full screen, and then my chat thing goes away, and other stuff on my screen goes away, but it's not making, obviously at your end, it's not making it any bigger.
Because I don't think it's restreamed. Because you saw what I did. I think it's in your on your computer. But don't worry, keep going.
Okay. So
Right.
the next picture, this is actually a small plant that was, and it just, it was just amazing. Now, this one is, I think, kind of like a water lily. It was right next to the water. Gorgeous, beautiful pink. And as you can see, sometimes I was a little bit too close to an object, and I even blurred that. But I've had problems doing flowers. Depend if it's high contrast, whatever, it just won't focus. But I still sent it up because I love the colors, and it seemed like everything was blurry. But I still loved it, and I couldn't tell you what plant that is. Sorry about that, but it was just one of those days where it was just working. Every picture I took, it was just wonderful, and I've been there many times, but it was just gorgeous. So let's see.
Let me, yeah, something's not quite right.
Yeah, someone said it was blocking on the left, but I don't know. Something on the left blocking it. But anyway, they made these benches out of wood, out of trees, where people could sit down, and took a picture of that. They have a lot of mesquite, a lot of oak trees are huge there. They have flowers all over the place. It's wonderful. Um, the fish are huge in the water. They had a couple of storks there. Um, they have different birds. Now and then you'll see a hummingbird come by.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you can see those fish are big, by the way, in that water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now,
So,
where is this taken at?
this is still at the same place.
Okay.
All these pictures were taken at one place.
Okay. Then you took in a couple of
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah. So that's the Koenig Brown. All right. Now it's the TechArt adapter. That's what it was. And you can see the lens, how tiny it is. Now that TechArt adapter, the TCM-02, is the autofocus for L mount. Oh, I'm sorry, for the M mount glass. And I had that little bitty thing on there, and it's I don't know, very tiny lens. It was doing great, and as you can see, I don't have a small rig grip on that camera. I just have a thumb grip through the hot shoe,
Yeah.
and everybody was commenting, "Boy, what a beautiful camera!" And so, yeah, there you go, Pointlander.
Your lens cap is dusty there.
Yeah,
Randall.
well, I buy stuff used. I can't pay full price for a Leica. So it may be 50 years old. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just teasing. It's good when when the dust is sharp.
Oh yeah, yeah. German help or German Shepherd helps too. You wouldn't believe all the hair it does have to clean up every day. So
Yeah, my wife says, "How do you get dog hair all over everything you wear?" I go, "Because the dog's on me all the time."
that's right.
Why?
Okay, so this is at the edge. I'm looking back at the gazebo, which is a beautiful wooden gazebo, which you can't see, but it's a reflection into the water. Now, the water looked kind of murky. I've been back since, and they cleaned out the water, but this day it was pretty green. And, early spring and stuff, they do the cleaning. And anyway, there's some more, I don't know what type of flowers they are. So, but,
And then you got one more here.
oh, yeah. And, it was just gorgeous. Now, this was outside of the area by the art center, and I'd never seen these before. No flowers, just the plants. And I thought, well, I'll just take a picture of them, and it's just gorgeous.
Now that adapter that you were using to use an M mount lens on a Nikon camera, is that adapter been around for a while? And
Yeah, I've had it for over a year.
so do you remember how much that costs for those that might be interested in doing that?
I can look up real quick and tell you.
Okay.
But it's an excellent lens. It does autofocus. You have to put it at an infinity first before it'll do it, and it works great. So it's the TechArt TZM dash, I think it's 02. And it goes for about $400 or 300. You can get some for $300 at eBay, but they keep raising the price. It's 400 at B&H, but if you go to eBay or other places, you can probably find it cheaper. But yeah, they got the Nikon Z autofocus adapter version 2. Yeah, the TZM-02. And that one from TechArt is $359. Um, and of course, you can find it on B&H also if you want more information. I could share it on my screen if you want to see it, but
Well, if we have time at the end of the show, maybe I'll have you do that,
okay.
depending on where we are with
I
time.
like this photo, Randall. This particular one that you're sharing now,
Oh yeah,
very nice. I think you can see here you probably took it in the shade of a tree or something because the light is sort of filtered
yes,
and also
yes.
contrasting. That's actually the best condition to take any kind of, in my opinion. So it's my opinion. For taking flowers and insects and macro. So if I go to do macro or go to do photography of this sort, I typically look for a cloudy day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's almost my criteria. 2 criteria: at
No
least partly cloudy and no wind.
Yes,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Which down
Close the
here,
window.
down here near the beach, the no wind part isn't too often. Well, that's it for Randall stuff. So thanks a lot, Randall. And yeah, I like, when you have it when it's a cloudy day, you get that nice, that purplish color pops on these plants.
Yeah, just the perfect settings all the way through.
So our next set of images are from Bob Reppert, Bob Our Photos. Now, before I show them, it's going to be a series of photographs that use the Nikon Z5 II with a 24-to-120 lens, all at f7.1, with the shutter speeds were between 1/1250 and 1/1600th of a second. These are all going to be from a baseball game up in when he went to visit family in Philadelphia, PA, and was not Major League Baseball. It was like when I was a lot younger at a company I worked for, we had company sponsored a baseball team, so we would play against other companies, or you'd be playing against Joe's Pizza or that type of thing. So it's that kind of a baseball game. So Bob's brother coordinates the schedule and stuff with these teams, and his team's called the Black Sox. And then there's a team that you're going to see in blue, which is Kensington Pub. So I will bring up the first image, and so the Black Sox are the older team, and the team in the blue shirts there is a much younger team. And like I said, these are all just people that like to get out and have fun together. And it is organized. And I used to play on like I said, a fast pitch softball team many, many years ago in my first job. And it's a lot of fun. So he captured that. So Bob says his brother's team is geriatric, old, fat, and slow, but with a few young girls on the team. But that doesn't offset the geriatric crowd, so they don't win that often. And then a guy that they call Big Bob, and you can tell from this picture who Big Bob probably is right here. Big Bob is he supposedly weighs over 400 pounds, but I give him credit for getting out there and trying to get some exercise anyway. So I will give him a thumbs up for that. And so we'll just go through the series of images. And Bob really liked using the the Z5 II for this type of shooting. He says it worked really, really well. He's very happy with them. And then there were, I think there was an image here where, okay, so that's one of the younger ones who actually hit the ball. It's coming right at you.
I hope Bob didn't get hit on that one.
Yeah. And there was action. There was sliding into the bases. more up close and personal shot.
Okay.
I got to send this one to a close friend that I worked with in my first job that lives in Connecticut, because I know it wasn't him, because he doesn't live in Philadelphia, but the guy that's sliding, I tell you, is like his doppelganger. It's his twin. I gotta send him that picture and say, hey, what are you doing playing baseball in Philadelphia? And then, of course, he had just shooting with a 24 to 120. But here, these guys didn't call the ball and therefore got a little bit entangled.
They catch each other.
Yeah, they tagged each other. I think one guy I think Bob said one guy had a sore back after this. And I'll tell you, everybody plays hard in these games. I mean, a team I was on, we were playing in a field that had like this fencing, chain link fencing in the back, and I played in the outfield. I was like left field most of the time, and a friend of mine was center field, and he went back for the ball, and the bottom of the fence was curved out with the sharp edges of the fence showing, rusty and everything. And he ended up running into the fence and he sliced his leg open. It was really, really nasty. He had to get a lot of stitches, and I'm sure he had to get a tetanus shot. No doubt about that. So we play like we're professionals, but we're definitely not. This is the last image here. So, Bob, thanks for taking us out to the ball game, as they say.
Definitely completely different, Bob. So I appreciate it.
Bob, if you remember the score, you'll have to send it to us. Now, with pictures coming up are going to be from Jeff Sluter, followed by Anita Stewart, and then Luis after that. So Jeff sent in this image of his grandson smelling roses. He says they're teaching him to appreciate nature and flowers. Whenever he sees a flower, he has to smell it. He says they try to take him out to some trail at least once a week.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. Get the kid outside seeing things instead of playing with a phone.
Why, they can't see that on an iPad?
Yeah. Instead of playing with technology, go out and see nature. The next shot that Jeff sent in is a gray tree frog.
It's a funny one.
And he says they've seen this frog in the fence post before. So this is inside of a fence post. And he says it seems to be a good hunting spot. It's not the least bit shy about a couple of humans walking by. If someone does get too close, it just crawls back into the hole a little bit further.
Well camouflage for sure.
Yeah, very well. Yeah.
I really like this one. I like them all, but I like this one. This is if you look over here, this is a jumping spider on the flower.
Jumping spider, yeah.
He says of a false blue indigo. He says about the same size bloom as a lupine. But Jeff knows his flowers. When I show flower pictures, I defer to him to let everybody know what they are. I did buy a flower book though, but it's funny, I look through it to try to find a flower, and it doesn't seem like I can ever find it. So I guess I need to I need to get a bigger book.
Yeah.
And this, he says, this deer is one of his gals came out to see him and ask him where he's been all spring. Jeff does have the opportunity to see a lot of deer where he lives. And then he got an image here of a breeding pair of green herons.
Green herons.
They're hanging out together all day. They saw the same pair on multiple trees and around the shore. He says, I've not known these to be flock birds or even mildly tolerant of others. So he says it must be a breeding pair. But yeah, they don't like congregate in large communities, but they'll be in the general area of each other.
Maybe they were looking for an apartment.
Yeah, they're looking for Apartments R Us or whatever that commercial is. Looking for cheaper rent.
Good luck.
Yeah. This shot is really nice. He got these thistles shortly after sunrise. He just thought they were pretty. He says nothing super technical in the photo, more of a snapshot, but he liked them, and I like the detail in the flowers, and
Yeah, that's very nice.
it's very nicely done. He's using here for those who I don't know if everybody can, probably kind of small to see the metadata. This was with the RF 100 to 500 millimeter, Canon lens, f4.5 to f7.1, and this was at 1/400th of a second, f10 ISO 320 with that particular lens. So Jeff gets very good. I'm sure he doesn't really have too many complaints with what his kit consists of now with the Canon gear, because it certainly has not affected his images in any negative way. So he's getting great shots. And then he got a shot of I had to look at this thing, I don't know how long. I thought I was looking at something that was going to be in the next Star Wars movie. And it really kind of freaked me out. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, look, I mean, obviously it's a pair of eyes, but I'm trying to figure out eyes from what. And he said it's a rather large snapping turtle. Looking at everybody from its underwater lair. He says, hard to tell the size from the photo. He says the head was about the size of his fist. So
Wow.
that's if it's the size of Jeff's fist, then that's a doggone big snapping turtle. But it just looks just like something that you'd see in a swamp scene or something in a Star Wars flick.
The cousin of Yoda.
Yeah. So Jeff, thanks a lot for sending those images in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So we're gonna move on to Anita's shots.
Yeah.
So Anita, her comment here on her set of images was she says finally got some nice days. All there was snow and hail on a Wednesday. She found a good spot for water birds. Of course, this is from when she wrote the email from Waterbirds yesterday, but I didn't submit any for this month. One of these days, she'll do a bird theme. The photos for this month's image review were taken in May. She said starting with the Z6 II, she took images with the Z6 II and the 24 to 120 f4S. And then there are a few images that you're going to see with the Z8 and the 180 to 600. Everything was handheld. So obviously you'll be able to tell which ones are from the 180 to 600 because this one is at 24 to 120 at 26 millimeters. So this is image number one.
Oh, that's nice.
I really like this one a lot.
Yay.
Beautiful image. I mean, I like, that the road, the angle of the road, and that's a tough shot to compose, I mean, and the funny thing is too, is like this part of I don't know if you see my mouse or
Sure.
not. Um,
Yeah.
obviously, this vertical is perfect, right, on the building. But then you look at the little shack or whatever that's on the property near the LP tank, and it looks like it's tipping over because it wasn't leveled out.
Easily fixed in Lightroom.
Well, the church is level. It's sitting on a grade, and like I said, when they built it, they just probably pre-built and they just laid it there,
Yeah.
so it never got leveled. The structure never got leveled off.
The tower is slightly to the left.
But, then
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's nice.
this is at 62
very
millimeters now. And then this just, I mean, there's a lot of great close-up shots you can get with that 24 to 120. You don't need a macro lens. I mean, unless you really want to obviously get into the center of the flower or whatever. And
That's nice environment shot.
yeah,
Well, soft light for the crocuses. I presume these are.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are crocuses, correct?
she doesn't say what it is. She's in the chat still. I mean, she can maybe let us know what it is if she knows what it is. I like the
Yeah, she'll say something shortly.
what looks like hair, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Flowers with hair, you know. I mean, that's when
Hey,
flowers have
hey.
more hair than I have, I get jealous. You know, I feel bad now.
Crocus.
Here's our next image. Yeah, I like the.
I mean, a sheer cliff with the water down, and then just one edge is full of trees. It's just unreal.
Yeah, it's like it's outlined by trees going up
Yeah.
not the angle. It's got trees on the top. It's got trees on the bottom. It's got trees.
Yeah, she said it was a crocus. Okay.
The crocus.
Hey, Rocky Mountains.
Well, you know, I heard that there's more photographers where David and Anita live, where they've serviced more cameras there in the Calgary area. So they have all the beautiful scenery, and then they can go to Vancouver or to Winnipeg or whatever. It's just gorgeous. They can even go south, you know, if they want to go to the States. But
Yeah, they got a lot of nice wide open places that they can go to. That's for sure.
yeah,
Judging from Anita's photos all this time, yeah, you can be sure about that. Beautiful places.
Here's a different view. That same mountain
The same,
structure on the
yeah.
right, but following the road with the old style fence is nice.
I really wonder if the trees they were man-made, man put it there, or just happened to be nicely around.
Natural.
because I think it's they had a mudslide or something because it's bare on that one side, and I can see where the dirt has fallen. So there might have been trees, and then the decay of water
Yeah.
or whatever, or the ice. So those trees that you see are the only ones that are left. So they're by the ocean or by the water, and then they go up on that side of the hill.
And
So-
they're, yeah.
There's a shot of that
Nice. Very nice.
railroad. I'm assuming that's a
Nice.
railroad bridge.
And that 24 millimeters, something else. Yeah. 24 to 120.
Yeah, that lens is like, I'd hug the Nikon guy who designed that lens if I ever met him. I'm
Yeah,
not going
but
to say
they
I'd kiss him, but I'd hug him.
particularly because they make it after the 2470. Oh, that's nice.
600 millimeters. Wow.
Yeah, so here she's using the 180 to 600 at 600.
Yeah, above the tree line, you can see all
Like
the tree
the
system.
bird
Yeah,
trees
yeah.
burned down.
And this is another one with the 180 to 600 well. I like this where it's like I'm looking at that boat and I'm like, gee, the water's deep enough for you to run the motor. I mean, you got all this dry area in the foreground. It's like that water doesn't look too deep. That's an interesting photo.
I like that one.
Yeah. So that's everything from Anita for this month. So Anita, thanks again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita.
Very good. Very good. Very good. And what we got coming up is a series of images from Luis. So give me a second to get my cheat sheet out. Oh, come on, Luis. You want me to pronounce this thing? Oh, man. You guys that live in, I tell you, we're playing in the United States when it comes to naming conventions. You guys get really carried away. So this is with the 150 to 600 millimeter lens at 600 millimeters, 1/1600th of a second. And he says this is a scorpion snake taken in central Germany. The snake was over 3 feet long. It lives from France to Southeast Europe, but there are a few isolated populations in central Germany. He says he found the snake at the end of the day next to a few logs in a forest, and it was drizzling a bit, hence the high ISO, which was, well, I don't consider ISO 250 very high nowadays, right? The D750 is very good with high ISO. Fun fact, he took this picture on the 14th of June in 2020. And that was the first day that they were allowed to enter Germany from the Netherlands after the first COVID-19 lockdown.
Wow.
Something must be. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm reading from the wrong thing here. I'm bad. No wonder why I'm saying that doesn't look like a snake. The snake is the next picture. This is a male Rhodos green lizard taken in the island of Rhodos in October of 2017. Mom bad. Males have blue on the throat, and it contrasts
I thought it was a masquerade.
with the first falling leaves on the season. Yeah, it's a snake lizard is what it's called. This was with the D7100 Tamron, because I'm saying he's talking high ISO, and I'm reading high ISO, and I'm looking at the screen saying it's ISO 250. This one was at.
But you see, we have a lot of
lizards at ISO 250. The snake picture is the one that's at high ISO at 11,400, which will be the next image. But this was with the Tamron 150 to 600 at 600 at ISO 250. So now I'm not going to read what I screwed up and read it again and torment you. So it's the drugs doing this to me, guys. It's the drugs. I feel really warm right now. Not a good feeling. Here's the snake at ISO 11,400.
Very good.
At 420 millimeters, and
nice job.
the detail on that head is so. Oh my God, it's beautiful, perfect.
It is.
Perfect.
Black amber, isn't it?
The Esculpian snake in Germany.
A skull from amber.
AESCULAPIAN. But
Whatever.
anyway,
Yeah.
but that goes to show you once again that that's the D750, and it's at ISO 11,400, and Looks perfect, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. You see, he's teasing you on top of everything.
I like what Robert says. It says snizzard.
Slizzard. Hey, I am sure I am going to misspeak a lot on this show.
Okay.
I could pick on myself.
Exactly.
You guys sure as heck won't hold back either, so that's okay. This is a western whip snake that he took last year in Sardinia, Italy. It's a juvenile snake that he found next to a grassy area with some water in an otherwise dry area by the coast. It says the ideal place to look for snakes. He says the high shutter speed was needed because the snake was very active. So this was at 1/2000th of a second with the
Beautiful.
50 to 250 millimeter lens.
That's a gun, very nice.
And
Love the texture in the rock, Luis.
Yeah.
Luis is definitely a snake lover, I'll tell you. Now his next image.
Oh, wow.
This is a male common blue. It's in a field of wild, oh man, chamomile. Chamomile. Chamomile.
Chameleon.
No.
Chamomile.
Oh, okay.
Chamomile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wild chamomile. As the name says, it's a common butterfly, but a very nice one to try to photograph. And this was he used the Z50 camera. He used on this with the Z50 to 250 zoom lens at f10 ISO 500 and 1/500th of a second ISO 400. A beautiful shot.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you could get the antennas sharp like that, and underneath the head is sharp.
Very nice.
It's nice,
Really
sharp,
nice.
and the legs very good.
Well, and then the blue in contrast with all that yellow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect.
Well, this is the advantage though too. You know, you're not using a macro lens, so you use a 50 to 250. You got some. You could stop it down like he did here at f10, and you get some depth of field. But the flowers in the background are far enough away where they're nice and soft. But you know, like if you stop down a macro lens, I don't care how much you stop it down, it never seems to really do you a hell of a lot of good. You know.
And that's why we need a good macro telephoto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want them. Well, you know me, I've always been blabbing about. I wish they'd come out with a 200 millimeter macro lens again, but don't know if it's ever going to happen. But that's the last image from Luis. So Luis, if you're still in the chat, thank you, sir, very much.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very, very nice.
And he tells you that snakes are great.
Snakes are great, and the snake lizard was really awesome.
Yeah.
The next images are Terry. You're going to be up next, so you can comment on your images. So we got Terry, and then we've got images from Robert Rosado after that. So those are the next series of images that we're going to have here. And so we will jump right in, Terry, to your first shot.
Oh, beautiful.
You talk or talk? That's a composite from Chobbe River, where I was before a month. Of course, it is early shot the geese, and later the sky.
So
It is almost the same.
sky, that was the sky in Namibia? In Botswana.
Yeah, in Botswana. Yeah, the one was about late afternoon.
Wow.
The geese, and the sky is about 12:30 at night.
Fantastic. Lovely.
and almost the same position. I mean, it is probably about 200, maybe 300 meters away, the one from the other.
Early there was a discussion in the chat about environmental portraits, so of bird photography, environmental
Yeah.
bird photography. So this is the extreme version of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Here the birds just add a little extra touch, but everything else around it is
Beautiful. Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, that was with most of the photographs I've done there generally, and the ones I've sent this time, I think, was from most of them was with 180, 600, and the Z9. Of course, this is of composite. Of course, the one it is with the 1424, the background, and they 180, 600, the foreground. But most of my shots from Botswana was on 180, 600. Very versatile lens for this case, for this area.
We're gonna jump to your next figure.
That's a big crocodile.
Did you stretch this guy out? Because this guy looks like he's something from Jurassic Park.
Actually, Jeff, when I see that, I thought, okay, I'll make the photograph. That's very nice. It's two crocodiles, one each other beside the other.
Yeah.
And I realized it was one when I saw the photograph.
Oh my God!
Because as you can see, it's very low on the water.
Yeah.
It wasn't really visible. But I grabbed the camera. I turned the camera, make the photograph. So yeah, that's good. Is that nice? Two crocodiles together, yay! And then I said, "Oops, it's not two, it's only one." And I said,
"Yeah, the crocs where you were get so much larger. I mean, they get so much larger than alligators do anyway." You'd never see an alligator. If you saw an alligator half this size, you'd go, "Wow!" But this is incredible.
That was, and actually, I couldn't have anything close for for comparison to really see the size. This is a very far away. I mean, maybe something like 100 meters.
Yeah.
But I thought that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it isn't anything close for the size. It looks big to me anyway, as I see them.
It looks, yeah. It's big.
I have a couple of other crocs which I had to make them 2 shots and join them after because it wasn't easy to in one frame.
Yeah,
they were long. Oh, we were very close. That's the problem, basically.
Well, it's good that you weren't very, very close.
Well, actually, yeah, they're very, very tame,
Or you'd be sending me this in a video saying, if you get this video, it means that I didn't make it back.
Yeah. And that was about 500 and f11 and 500 ISO.
We'll go to your
next one. It is the next. This one and the next photograph. It is African bee eaters. Shot on 600, of course.
They got wonderful color, don't they? I mean, I'll never see one, but they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are, and they have another bee eater. There are 2 bee eaters there. In the area.
Yeah.
The other ones are called white front. It is maybe it's a little bit more nice than these ones, but that's they are nice too. It is far away; you can't see the color so nice. I have, of course, close-ups. I'll show them some moment later on.
You got another. This one's your
But yeah, as you can see, they're just
Man,
take
they're
the
like
sun.
they're gorgeous.
Yeah, they're nice looking birds.
Now, how big are the birds? I mean,
They're about 15 centimeters altogether. That means it's something like 7 inches.
okay,
Small. It's a little bit smaller than American robin.
Six
Okay.
inches, yeah. About 6 inches, yeah. Something
Yeah.
like a 15, 16 centimeters, yeah.
yeah, they're
And they are very bloody fast, I can tell you.
they're gorgeous though. They are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. I have a series of them. They like to make their nest in the land. They dig holes,
Ah, okay.
and yeah, I have a photograph. I'll show you some moment later on, as you know, I have plenty of them. Yeah,
Like I said, I'll never see one of those, and I'll probably never see one of these either. You call this as an African sea eagle?
yeah, African sea eagle. He was not so far away, actually. As you can understand.
Fish eagle.
Yeah, fish eagle. Yeah,
Fish.
sea eagle. They call it sea eagle.
Right.
That's how they call it, and that's how it was on
Right.
on the image information on a Google. I was trying to find the names to be sure, and they were calling it sea eagle too.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nice portrait.
Yeah.
That's I felt there is nice chance, and yeah, it was just on top of the tree.
Hey, I think you did one. I mean, we're only seeing a very small snippet of of what you're going through, starting to go through, and I think you had some great stuff on this trip. I mean, it really looks like you had a really good time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm a very big trigger happy boy, and I'm paying now for that.
Now, let's clarify that it's trigger happy with a shutter. So people don't get the wrong idea.
Yeah. I hope so not. Yeah.
But thanks for these. They're great. And
Thanks,
and then rather than bringing it up at the end of the show, when you're talking about how you want to present pictures of this stuff, I think rather than focusing on 10 pictures of a cheetah or something, or I like, personally, just my opinion for what it's worth, which is like 5 cents, is variety. Variety is great. It keeps the interest up. Because it means something different like every shot, and then you could show the same species in different backgrounds and different things, for a different show. And but I think mixing it up is from a unless you were doing a documentary on a specific type of creature, I think mixing it up is a better way going.
I think it's more than 5 cents worth, and I like the idea. And just I was afraid not to be boring, showing every time a same, because unfortunately we didn't have too many species. Of course, it's more than 50 species. I find out everything, at least until now. I've counted about 50 or something species. But anyway, I like the, as you said, I like the idea. Probably I'll do that. And if I become boring, you can tell me and slap me.
I'll just start skipping over your pictures.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Which I would never do anyway. You know that. But this is the last one that you shared with us. But it's great to see. I love to see pictures from places that I haven't had the opportunity to see. And I mean,
I have
that
to,
way you have a
nice.
variety. The variety is the spice of life, as they say, and
Yeah,
you're able to get a lot of variety.
and that was just the first sets, you know. Uh, Now I have more photographs aside, uh, preparing, and I think I'll have a couple of nice surprises.
Okay.
Just look at the space, as they said.
Yeah.
We work.
Stay tuned in.
Stay tuned,
Same
yes.
time, same channel.
We work with you, Terry.
Thanks, thanks,
We
guys.
get better, then we get, and we have time. Don't worry about it.
So we're going to jump to Rob Rosato's images, and he had taken these when he sent these in. He said he took them the past weekend before, while he was in New Hampshire visiting friends for Memorial Day weekend, except for the pictures at the end that are from a different area that he took on his way home from New Hampshire. So his first image that he sent in was of a lady slipper.
Oh,
He took this while he was on a hike on one of the trails near the Flume Gorge in Lincoln, New Hampshire. He bought the ZF with him just in case, and they noticed this lady slipper orchid along the edge of a path. So this was taken with the ZF, with, once again, the 24-120 f4, that killer lens. 60 millimeters. 1/250th of a second, f7.1, ISO 2500. He ran it through, processed it through Pure Raw 4 for noise reduction. Nice shot.
Very nice.
So Robert's next image is of
Oh, that's
it's
beautiful.
called Lipstick Cup Lichen. So they were on another hike a couple of days later in a different spot, looking for more lady slippers, and his friends had seen quite a few of them on this path a few years ago, but it looks like we were a couple weeks too early for the elevation they were at, so he made do with some photos of lichen, pronounced lichen. This is called Lipstick Cup Lichen, and there was a small cluster on an old rotting branch. He did this is a 40 image focus stack.
All right.
With
now,
the Z9 with the 105 f2.8 S macro lens.
Jeez.
perfect use for photo stacking.
Right, you got something that isn't moving. You got light that's not changing a lot, and it's not a windy day, and you can focus stack out in the field and get something like this.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
It's about picking the right tool for the right conditions, right, Gustavo?
Exactly.
that's perfect. That's very nice. The total, it is amazing.
Now he managed to get a picture
Oh,
of a bear cub here. Gloomy, rainy day. They finished a late breakfast when a small black bear cub came by his friend's house. Looked like it was from last year's litter. Was all alone, so it must have left its mom to go explore the world on its own. It was scrounging for food here and there. Says they were watching it for a couple minutes, and it looked like it had decided to go deeper into the woods. But then it decided to come back towards the house, so they all grabbed their cameras. And he says, fortunately, the house had a lot of large glass windows and doors to look through. And he said the cat was also watching very intently. And this was with the 180 to 600 at 220 millimeters.
a nice teddy bear.
Nice teddy bear. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna cuddle with that in your bed though, and have a good day. Because eventually, there's the cat, and there's the cat, and the window looking out right at the bear.
That's a story.
But that's funny.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-year-old Bob for sure.
And then he has.
Oh.
This is so
Oh,
cute.
Oh, wow.
that's a cute
So
one.
the cub made its way to the other side of the house and decided to sit next to a small Japanese lantern that his friends had at the edge of a path leaning to the main entrance. Lantern is about 1 feet tall to give you an idea of the bear size. So the bear's probably a little like 2 feet, maybe a little bit more. He says it would look at us every once in a while and would occasionally snack on some acorns that were on the ground. And this was with the 180 to 600 as well on the Z9 at 350 millimeters, 1/640th of a second, f6.3 ISO 12,800. Processed through Pure Raw 4 as well for noise reduction. And then the next picture is a scene that he caught when he was driving home from New Hampshire, and he pulled over and he got a picture with this light kissing the tops of some of those trees of some horses. So he was like, 3 hours back from New Hampshire, about a mile away from his house, when he saw some horses on a nearby farm. About 20 minutes before sunset, and there were some nice late afternoon streaks of sun hitting the field here and there. So he pulled over, take some pictures. And this was with the 135 millimeter Plena lens. So this is with the Plena.
So,
Came out
yes,
beautiful.
a prior photo of the bear, because I see Mike Dries was talking about photographing bears, right? The bears are, particularly black bears, are difficult to photograph, not only to get a nice composition, but for the same reason that photographing white egrets is difficult, because you can lose a lot of details in the white. With black bears, you can lose a lot of details in the black, correct? So
Yeah, it's
the fact that he has a cloudy day there with basically he was able to make a good exposure. Otherwise, if you got a little bit of light, then you expose for the fur, and everything blows up in the background. So this was ideal conditions, and of course, Robert did fantastic on this photo, and the composition it makes it. He could have made the photo in the center, correct, with the bear in the center. It would have been nice, but the fact that he put it on the side and you have the Japanese lantern on the side, it's beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
And the bear fur can really screw up your autofocus too.
Well, yeah. Particularly exposure. Okay,
yeah. But I mean, you don't have any, you got all black. You don't have any contrast. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So sometimes the camera, you think you're focused, and then it's a little softer than you think it should be. So if you're shooting on something like you said, whether it be all white or all black,
yeah,
check. Pixel peeping, people don't like the pixel peep sometimes, but sometimes it makes a lot of sense to pixel peep when you're shooting on what could be a difficult subject, whether it be from an exposure point of view or a focusing point of view. And, to check it and make sure you're getting the result you want, and then make adjustments if you need to, whether you have to change your autofocus mode or your whether you're shooting, center weighted or change, how you're doing the exposure, you just got to know when you got to make changes. And I like the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's everything from Robert. So Robert, good job, my friend.
Excellent.
Thanks, Robbie.
Bears were great. Everything was very good. Jim Eads, real Nikon lover, sent us in a couple images. This first shot, and this is not an AI shot. I mean, Jim does some interesting things fooling around with AI on some images that he sends myself and Gustavo, and that we get to get some kicks out of. This is a real deal. The grandson here is 2 years old, airborne. He says having the time of his life, no fear. And he says when his dad is a beast at 6'7", you can fly. He's 38 pound kid, and dad throws him up in the air like that, like a small sack of potatoes. And kid, when he grows up like his dad, he was laughing like crazy and did this.
Oh my goodness!
And
That's high.
did it a few times, so he was able to get the camera out and get the shot.
Jeez.
And then he was nice enough to give me permission to share it with everybody. That's cool. That's cool.
Beautiful.
And the kid was enjoying, according with
Yeah.
That's
He's
obvious.
smiling. Yeah.
Smile like crazy.
Like I said, we may take, a lot of us, we may take, nature shots or landscape shots or whatever, but the ones that you show when the family come over are shots like this.
Yeah.
Then he got this shot. He sent me this shot.
That's very nice.
He says the youngest grandson was watching a show on YouTube with Jim, and he grabbed his hands and was holding his hands. So he had his camera on the desk, and he took this photo, ambient light peeking through the mini blinds behind his desk. And this is a real cool shot. This is with
it's gorgeous.
the
Perfect.
Z9 with the 24-120, not using a flash in manual mode. Aperture with matrix metering, ISO 1000 f4. So
nicely composed and obviously
Very nice.
nicely developed, if you were call it that way.
yeah,
Process.
You said manual mode, right?
yeah,
Wow.
very, very good, Jim.
Excellent.
Good job. So, Jim, when you send me pictures, as you do somewhat regularly, do me a favor and just put a note if you're okay with it being used in the photo review, because when it comes to family pictures, I don't want to make assumptions that you want me to share any of those images. So if you're okay with it being in the photo review, when you send an image to me, just say, Jeff, okay to use it on the photo review, and then I'll put it aside and stick it in the next photo review. I don't like to make assumptions. I don't want to show an image that somebody, too private or whatever, and they don't really want to share it with the world here, because we know the world is watching us right now. We have billions and billions of people watching the show right now. Okay, our next coming up next is, drum roll, is Gustavo shots are next. So he's going to have to clear his throat and get ready to you have a lot of splaining to do, Mr. Gustavo. And then David Stewart sent in some images that he gave me a narrative for each shot that a combination of all his images kind of tell a little story that he put together. So I told him I'll try not to butcher it up too bad as I'm trying to tell the story with his images. And then after David, we got images from Scuba Razzi. So we will start with Gustavo's shots. So give me a second to get there.
All right.
Nice.
So as I was saying, at this time of the year kept me busy with all the birds that are nesting around the house, right? And so spring is typically kind of busy time in the morning, correct? Jumping from one part of the garden to another, you have to try to get. So this is one of the birds. I told you this is a tree that I have 3 different kind of birds photographing, and a particular time of the day, you got some light. This actually is the first 2 photos from the European starling, which is an invasive species here, correct? But I do like to photograph as they come into the nest and bring food. Now, these were a couple of days ago, weeks ago. I see keep progressing, so you will see more of these. But definitely the light was good, and I was trying to use a combination of different tools. Sometimes I have to capture or putting the camera and then moving myself away from the scene and using remote. Actually, I was talking to Jeff. I may do a little bit of a presentation because I think some of these use of the different tools, when it's appropriate, what kind of settings, it would be perhaps interesting. But indeed, this capturing this photo, and you have to, unfortunately, you have to take a lot of photos until you get, the kind of light that you want and the wing position, etc., etc.
Yeah. And we'll go to your next one.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of trial and error. So these are the starlings. They are almost done and that's so I have seen now the chicks, and I will show you the next time.
This is with your 600 with the built-in TC.
Yes.
Boy, you can't get. I love the iridescent. You had just enough light, to get that iridescent color, in the feathers.
Yes. No, they are beautiful. The starlings are beautiful. I'm pretty interested in birds. It's just that they are invasive. Right? They compete from other neck cavity birds, and in this case, this is a woodpecker. I think woodpecker cavity from last year, correct? Which they have now occupied.
Bob and I, we had some here in Myrtle Beach, and they don't belong here in Myrtle Beach. I mean, I think it was maybe a couple years ago, and they were, hanging out in a tree and flying around, and we're like looking at them like, I don't know what bird this is, And then somebody that was there knew what it was and looked it up, and it's like, it doesn't belong in Myrtle Beach, but somehow it got here. Here's the next one.
Oh wow!
And of course, at this moment, I have two different nests of the northern flickers, and these I showed you the last time when they were excavating the nest cavities there. And, this is actually for the flickers, the first indication that they have been successful hatching, because you can see that the parents start removing some of the fecal sacs from that. So, so it's again, we'll talk about how to get these photos another time. But so I like photograph. I like to understand what's going on in the different nests and monitor it regularly, almost on a daily basis.
Nice job, man.
And this is in the other nest, so you can see this is a different angle because it's a different nest. And of course, photographing them when they arrive to the nest, you have to be there and ready to press the shutter, correct? So you have to put some hours in order to do that. So anyway, so these I mean, the two flickers are different. We are in an area where we have what's called an integrate, so I able to differentiate the different the different individuals. Okay, in this case, you can see the photograph of the two males. Now, this male has have more red in the back of the head, and these ones are running about 2 weeks later than the other ones. Right, so the other ones, the chicks are already out. I show you that in the next photo review, or on 2 weeks from now. And these ones are the ones that nested later because they started digging the hole a little bit later. But, so this is good for the afternoon photography. The other one is good in the morning.
This bird, I think, leads a confused life, because I mean, it's a beautiful bird, but it's like, it has, that vibrant color patterns, but then the body part is like spots. It doesn't know whether it wants to have, it's got the black at the end of the tail, and then like the rust color, orangey rust color, and then it's got black and white spots on it, and then it has like looks like a collar, a black around the neck, and then I mean, on the chest area, and it has so many different variations of color patterns on it. It's like a bird that it's just like it's very, very unusual with the colors.
Yes. Yeah. And Jeff and Leslie mentioned that the East Coast, where you live and where he is they have the other variety of this bird, which is the yellow shafted. So I mean, the plumage underneath will be yellow rather than red like this one. But in my area, Jeff, I have integrate. So we got sometimes some that are some characteristic of the yellow shafted, some characteristics of the red shafted.
You got mutant birds.
Some sort of hybridization of it between
Yeah.
but that helped me because I can differentiate them because there are different details. They are not all the same.
Can I make a question about the previous image?
Yeah.
It is the color. You said this is red. You mean red under the cheek or the wings?
No, so the one in the west side of the United States, right, of this northern flicker, the males have like a little mustache. You can see that that is red in color, but
that's the red. I thought you meant red.
But then
the wings, because I seen them like almost orange.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe there's some problem on my screen.
No. But you're right. So this one has this red, correct here, but the red shafted or yellow shafted refer to the shaft of the feather. So you can see
it's clearly visible, but exactly. I was confused which one is the red.
Yes, so they call it red shafted, but it's this kind of reddish ochre, like a brick red color.
Yeah.
While the ones that Jim will have, that Jeff will have, and I occasionally have some, these will be yellow.
Yeah.
I can show you later on another photo if we have chance.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
So this is the hairy woodpecker, correct? And actually, again on the same tree. So this is like level 1 of the tree where we have this one, and this is a little bit more tricky because I have some branches from the cottonwood that prevent me from taking some photos. But sometimes you can get some. I do get some interesting photos of them when they come to bring some food, like you can see here. Right? But getting good flying photos when they approach the nest are a little bit more difficult. But I love to see what they bring, right? Because they bring such a variety of things. It's fantastic. In this case, you can see it's a lungworm that look like a spaghetti.
Yeah. So are they in the high rent district in that tree, or are they in the cheap seat? And you got another one here.
Yeah, and this was funny because this bird, I mean, it has brought so many moths that you can see the eye is covered with the wing of a moth, right?
Yeah.
So so I decided to include this a little bit of a funny photo because I don't know how he could fly and see where we were going because he was completely covered on the wing of the moth.
Yeah, I was saying that when I saw it when you sent it to me. I'm like, you can't see his eyeball. Now the last shot here, I believe it's the last shot. Yeah, the last shot here from Gustavo. I'm going to insist ahead of time. This is a fake shot because it's too darn perfect. There's no way that this creature posed.
Yeah,
like it does in this image.
Yeah, no. But this is a photo. This photo is for our friends here, Jeff and Leslie, that photograph a lot of snake, Martin and Luis, particularly, that photograph a lot of snakes. Right? So this actually not from my home. This is actually from the Denver Botanical Gardens, and they were in some of the ponds. There were a lot of frogs and tadpoles, and this garter snake was sunning itself before it went into hunting. So anyway, so
Jeff, this is plastic. Don't believe him.
That's what I told him. There's no way. I said, this is a rubber snake. There's no way
Yeah,
you could lay it with the tail like that and have it
yeah.
like
Set up.
it's like too
He
perfect.
set it up.
you have seen Luis photos are much better than this one. So
Oh no! Don't discredit your work here. I mean, what's nice too is that like almost that rusty color on the rock.
Yeah.
Is pretty cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, he find the rock.
You found the right rock to lay that rubber snake on. It's amazing.
Nice production, my friend. Nice production.
Yes.
so next time I show you a progression on what's going on with my with
How
the-
you curl it around.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a wonderful shot. I really like this shot, and like I said, I like the color in the rock. Adds a lot to it as well.
Yes.
Earth tone there. Rusty
And in
tone.
the morning they try to get warm up before they go hunting, right? So
Yeah.
So
Now,
did you use the same
how
lens
long do you
for
think
all
that
those
snake-
shots?
this actually Randall was taken with a 600 PF.
Okay, okay.
If I go for a walk, that's the one that I carry in the backpack if there is any birds. So I went to the botanical garden, but I I'm a nature photographer, but mostly a wildlife photographer. So I always have an option to take a photo with a close-up lens, so that's super telephoto.
Wow.
So the next image.
It's all right.
So this is it from Gustavo because I can't look at this
Excellent.
fake snake much longer. I'm only teasing. I like this snake image a lot. We got David Stewart's images with a little story that I'm going to try not to screw up too bad, and then we got stuff from Scubarazzi. Scubarazzi's topic is colorful birds of Europe, so I think you're going to really like that. So we'll start off with David's images here. So this is a story from David in pictures. There's a dinosaur roaming in downtown Drumheller.
The T-Rex is up.
He's wandering the town in search for lunch.
The monster coming.
Search for lunch.
Find it.
There's lunch in
Find
the
it.
school bus. I hope the driver doesn't stop.
Children.
You find the food in a can.
Yeah. There's a film crew is shooting a group of paleontologists from the University of Alberta who are searching for dinosaurs and the life that predates them. This guy is waiting for the dinosaur to finish eating so he can eat the leftovers.
Take the rest.
And he says, this is what happens to you if you stand too long in the badlands of dinosaur country.
Yeah.
You turn into a rock.
Beautiful.
But I'll back up and go through those slower since I didn't want to go too slow in trying to do the storyline here. But now we can just look at the pictures quick. I mean, that's crazy. Imagine and that's cool. If you live around there and say, yeah, I got a dinosaur in my backyard. What do you think? And everybody goes, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Scare the people around.
Yeah, that's neat.
Great, David.
Yeah, there you go. That's like a lunchbox full of kids.
We call it Meals on Wheels.
Now, David did send me another image that I'll show you near the end of the show because he got it. He snuck it in on me, today. another image, but I figured I'll just split it up. I wasn't going to move it around too much and change all my numbering and everything. So I'm going to show it at the end. But he did sneak in another one. So then we're going to get into Scubarazzi's images here, and coincidentally, as Terry already showed some of them, he got some pictures of bee eaters that he had to go to Germany to get pictures of. So his first shot,
Wow.
Very close, yeah. The
is
same color.
he says in Germany, he says there's a good spot that he knows of, but they have to be there before sunset. So they leave before 3 a.m. and then drive for 2 hours, and they got to walk with a lot of gear for over half hour. And they normally bring a tent or a hide where they can spend about 5 hours kind of like waiting for things to happen. You know, it's a spot apparently where he knows where they are, and they set everything up. And he says he brought 3 cameras. 2 are connected to remote controls. And he says bee eaters are very social compared to a kingfisher, and they like to spend time with others, but they also interact a lot and sometimes are very rude. He says, unfortunately, this time the bee eater were not doing what we expected. So for the next time, he says, I have a new project. All I can tell so far is The Jackal with Bruce Willis. He says, some will know. But we will go to, so he's got a couple shots of the bee eaters.
Wow.
Oh, that's better colors.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Paul. I don't like showing. I tell you, Paul, I don't like the fact that you usually send your pictures in on a Friday, which is fine. And I try to show mine at the end because I want everybody to see everybody else's pictures first, right? But when I got to follow up with, I got Terry and I got Gustavo and I got Paul, Scubarazzi, and I get Michael Dries, it's like, I feel like I shouldn't be showing mine at all because, these are so, you guys just take such phenomenal images. It's crazy.
I think you're looking for compliments anyway.
For you guys, yeah. But I there's no way I can't, I show mine. I feel like, okay, now we're going back to plain folk shooting.
I can tell you these bee eaters are much more beautiful than the ones in Africa.
Yeah.
And they go to Africa.
They're similar, but not exactly. These
No,
ones.
these migrate to certain parts of Africa.
Could be.
This is where he was talking about them being rude because obviously the one that's already on the branch doesn't appreciate the other one flying in.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of my neighborhood.
Oh man, gorgeous.
They are more close to the white front bee eaters. It's a little bit different, of course, but yeah, that's beautiful colors. Beautiful colors.
So obviously the ones on the far left are having a really good time. We'll leave it at that. You can all use your
Takes 2
imagination.
to tango, my friend.
I don't normally show X-rated images on this show.
Yeah, it's not the first time. Come on.
No, it's like the second time. Now, we move on to these beautiful kingfishers.
Yeah, the Malacca.
Oh,
Ones we have here are nice, but I mean the color of the kingfishers that where he lives are just incredible. He says he spent a lot of hours, many hours in a hide to get the kingfisher shots. He says it's not easy to find a spot there, as a hide is very popular, helps you out a lot. So he says on weekends and with good weather, he tries not to go there. It's also hard is to find the right time when there is a lot of action, but he has a trick to find out when a good time is. Maybe this might be interesting to share with the community. This could be a 15-minute session or so, which is fine. So if you want to do a little quickie presentation on what you do to find out when is the right time here to get these kingfisher shots, put a little something together and share it with us, no problem. He says, we'll move on to another image here. He says these images it's very hard for him to choose and pick and choose the images to share for this review. I think he just got so many fantastic images that he just didn't know what to share with us, especially with the kingfishers. And he's apologizing for hopefully not boring us too much. You and Terry talking to each other about boring people. I mean, you guys, come on. You're not boring anybody. A beautiful shot is a beautiful shot. I mean, this is something.
That's the difference between the organized safari and when a photographer goes and stays there and waiting for the action. We didn't have in the whole week. We never had a chance to grab something like that, an action, because we have to stay 10 minutes there, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and that's it. And the birds or wherever, they don't do whatever you like. They do what they like. I never had any action shot when we were down there a whole week.
Yeah, whizzing past.
Yeah, he says here's the female is above the other male, and he says she was in the nest and he called her, so she hoped that he was gonna be a fish involved, but there wasn't. But there, he got to just see the fortunate, they found a spot in a hide. He could just see how they interact with each other, what they're doing, and then eventually he did get the next time, he did get one with the fish, and that's a big fish. He's saying he doesn't know how they eat a fish like that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all the kingfishers, in terms of their eating methodology, is similar, irregardless of what territory you're in. But I mean, the ones around here, I mean, they beat the fish up on something hard, like to break all the bones. So it makes it easier to go down. I mean, they don't just swallow them whole like that. They literally beat the crap out of them. I mean, we've seen them beating them up on signs. They beat them up on, man-made posts, or viewing areas, and you'll actually find scales of the fish stuck into the wood, and you'll know that's where the kingfisher beat up the fish before it ate it. I mean, they love to, they just beat the what out of them.
These are Jeff, and these are half the size of the kingfishers that you have in your area. These are tiny.
Yeah, but they're so much prettier. They're so much prettier.
They are equally difficult to photograph, correct?
They're very, 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 very fast. I mean, sometimes when they're thinking about where to dive for a fish or whatever, you could catch them. Usually though, they go pretty high up. You don't always have a background. Sometimes you're just shooting them with the sky behind them, type of thing. But they like to flutter. They'll sometimes go up and they'll flutter and flap their wings, and then they're like they're getting ready to dive. But they give you that couple seconds to maybe get a shot of them when they're fluttering.
Send these photographs, Kubarachi. Send them.
Yeah. Yeah, these should be in a magazine. There you go. The handoff, the infamous handoff. He gave it to her. He says she ate it right away. He was in the hide for 5 hours yesterday. Male did give the female a fish 3 times. And one time she did let him mate with her. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any photos of that. He says his camera had the wrong setup. It was set up on video, and he did take a video of the whole act. Maybe I'll upload that on YouTube one day and then I get banned. There you go. Bird porn, you know, it's like we got to have a separate channel for bird porn.
Kubarasi, you first couple things. This is my favorite in the series, but given your handle Scubarasi, my wife always complained that we nature photographers, we are paparazzis of the natural world because we always
So true.
We catch the moments they don't want us to catch.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, we probably have contracts on us by some bird species that are tired of us taking their pictures.
When I photograph the birds here around the yard and I know they are nesting, I always tell my wife, I photograph, I saw a lot of wow chicawawa, so I'm sure that we're going to have some nesting coming up pretty soon.
Now he sent in like these are the images that, you know, fit his pattern of photography a lot, and then he decided to send in a couple of funnier images. He does have friends. I think we've seen pictures before. He has friends that have a couple German Shepherds. One of them is actually a real police dog. I know we shared some images before. So he got these images here. He says they started a play fight. His dog started a play fight, so he started to take pictures. But he says the background was bad. He had the idea to replace the background using AI, Nano Banana. In the first image, they're dancing in a ballroom.
Wow.
So he changed it so they're dancing in a ballroom. And this was with the Z52, which Scubarasi's been getting really nice shots with that camera. I mean, I think that Z52 is a really, really good camera for the money. I mean, I think that's an excellent extra camera to have on you, you know. It does very well. This is with the 18-300 Tamron Z-mount lens, the 18-300 Tamron, 1/2500th of a second, f3.5 ISO 1000 at 18 millimeters. And then he shared one more. He says this one is of them doing the ring and swing. He says this is a traditional Swiss wrestling.
I like
that. Same camera, same lens, the Tamron Z mount 18-300, 1/2500th of a second, f3.6 ISO 1400 at 43 millimeters. So he says lessons he learned in this case are being persistent is very important. You need to invest a lot of time to be lucky and be at the right time and at the right place. He says zoom lenses are great and very flexible. He says there was one guy that had a 600 millimeter f4 in the hide. He says that lens was for that situation totally useless. He had to switch to his 400, and also here it was not very easy to do that. So for every situation, you know, there's reasons why there are so many lenses out there to choose from, because as he says here, so for every situation there is different gear, but the zoom lenses cover for him in most cases. But this is his personal opinion, and of course, the higher 45 megapixels help if you can crop. But yeah, I mean, there's you know, if you have two camera bodies with you, you know, ideally, hey, you could put the fixed telephoto on one camera and put the zoom on another one, right? And then you got the best of both worlds. You could switch back and forth. So that's it for Scubarasi's images. So Paul, thank you so much for those.
You.
We really appreciate it.
Excellent.
So I'm going to skip mine because I got things out of order here from how I got the images. I thought I was done, but then I wasn't done. Michael Drees's images are next. And then I got that one extra picture that David Stewart sent in, and then I'll show mine, and then we'll do a recap and go through all the images like we normally do. So Michael writes, before we get into his first image, he writes that hopes that we're all well. He returned from a 2-week road trip to the western United States with stops at Maggie Marsh in Ohio, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and then finally Yellowstone and Grand Teton. And he says, what an amazing trip. He's still culling and editing images. And so he sent us 5 images from his 2-week road trip. So the first images is of Jam, the grizzly bear in Yellowstone National Park.
Beautiful.
Big one.
May not be perfectly sharp yet. My desktop is saying it's still loading the image, so it may not be.
It looks good. It looks very good.
Looks fine.
Okay, so he says this was he took this with the Nikon Z8 with the 400 millimeter f2.8 at 560 millimeter focal length, at f5.6 1/1600th of a second, ISO 640. So this is with the 400, just so
With the teleconverter.
400 f2.8, which has the built-in teleconverter.
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, what a thrill to watch this sow grizzly feed on the hillside above him at a distance of about 100 yards. The bear lost patience with a small flock of cowbirds that were following her. She swiped her claw at the birds and they immediately flushed. He says the light was a bit harsh, but he loved the interaction. So you could see the bird. I don't know if you could, right here.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Here's
I
the
didn't
bird.
know it before.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
see it. Wow. All right.
So then Michael moves on and
Nice.
he gets a bison with a calf. This is with the Z8 with the Nikkor 100 to 400 at 100 millimeters, f5.6, 12/50th of a second, ISO 360. He says a late May snowstorm produced a magical landscape in the Lamar Valley at Yellowstone National Park. He used the wide end of his zoom lens and a vertical orientation to include as much of the scene as possible. These animals are so tough and resilient. Yeah, and I mean, obviously they were close enough to him where he was able to use the 100 millimeter focal length and fit in more of the environment in the image,
Beautiful.
and the subjects are still large enough, So very good job.
Tanager.
Then his next image
Hey,
is a western tanager in Grand Teton National Park. This is with the 400 2.8 with TC lens as well, at 560 millimeters. So he had the TC engaged, f4 at 1/800th of a second, ISO 1600. He says this was a life bird for him. I mean, something that he's been hoping to capture,
Yes.
and he got it. Tanagers are beautiful birds, but I don't see them very. My friend Bob got a summer tanager, if I remember right, is mostly orange, if not completely like an orange coloration down here, and you hardly ever see them. I mean, people that are true birders that. I mean, I take pictures of birds, but I mean, I can't always. I know what certain birds sound like. I go, oh, that's such and such a bird. That's such and such a bird. But somebody who's like been tracking birds with binoculars and that type of thing for 20, 30 years. I mean, they know what every bird sound is. It's amazing. They could be right next to you and say, oh, did you hear the, X, blankety blank bird? And you're like, really? You know, you hear like 20 sounds around you, and they can pick out what, you know, each species. They know what it is. It's amazing. The last image. No, we got, let's see, 2 more images from Michael. This is a
Oh,
Long-beam curlew.
he was with his friend Ray Hennessy. They were working together with a pair of these birds as the sun set over majestic Grand Tetons. This is a long-billed curlew at Grand Teton National Park, and this is with the Z8 with the 400-28 and at 400 millimeters. And he says they're able to capture a few images of one of the birds with the mountains in the background. So it's always nice to show off stunning scenery when you get the opportunity. Now, I don't have it in my images that I'm sharing, but I had a bird that looked similar to this, even with the coloration. And maybe the bill wasn't quite as long. I think it was. I'll have to dig it up and maybe share it in the next photo review, or just share the picture during the third week in the month. And I thought, I'm saying, that's a curlew, isn't it? And I'm saying to myself, it's a curlew. And when I looked it up with the Merlin app, it told me it was some totally different kind of bird. I don't know, but it had a curved beak, just like this one. So I don't know if the Merlin app misidentified it, which it sometimes does. But I'll show you that image down the road and see if they did misidentify it.
Very, very good. Yeah.
But cool bird.
Yeah.
And then he got this last image here of a mountain bluebird, Grand Teton National Park, Z8 with the 400-28 with the TC at 560 millimeters. 1/800th of a second, ISO 1250.
So, Mr. Ishii, there was a discussion early on, Jeff, about cropping too far into the bird so that you see a lot of details, but you lose the environment, correct? You lose some of that. So Ishii was discussing about it, asking about it. So, and I mentioned that that Michael is very good at taking some of these environmental photos. So that prior photos, particularly his frame, right?
Yeah, we'll go back. Yeah, the thing is, like, and you can disagree with me if you want. I mean, I think environmental shots tend to work better with larger sized birds.
Yeah, no,
you know, because you got a bird that's this size. If you backed off a lot on this, the bird would be so small. It's already a very small bird, you know. So I'm saying, when you get a bird in flight and it's a pelican or an eagle and you're relatively close, I mean, you can get a lot more of the environment in the picture. And you tend to crop those not quite as much, but when you got these smaller birds, you always tend to crop in on them, you know.
So this is the discussion with Mr. Ishii, right? Because he apparently has a friend that a bird photography. So he was asking about, because obviously there was some discussion among them about the issue of cropping or not cropping, and what's the problem, and we were discussing with him. So I told him, actually, without knowing what Michael was going to send, to keep an eye on Michael's photos, right? But this photographer, this professional photographer that Michael mentioned, Ray Hennessy, which I think he was also an instructor that he used on his Labrador trip, correct?
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel, and he is very much a proponent of that style of photography. It doesn't mean that he doesn't like other type of nature of photography, but he does amazing stuff, right? Even with the rains, right? Yeah, where there is a environmental photo, but the subject is a wren, right?
Yeah.
So you can, yeah, with I mentioned in the dialogue here that to John Ishii that the issue with environmental photography is that it's actually more difficult than regular close-up of the birds, right? Because you have to take more into consideration composition, background, etc., like Michael has done here, right? So
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes you don't care if the subject is a minimalistic item in the image, because sometimes it happens to be a landscape photo that has an animal or a bird in it.
exactly. So if John watches this, he should watch this part of the so that he can see some example. I check, and I would check because I watched the guy, this Ray Hennessy channel that he has with another Canadian photographer. And I recommend that I put a recommendation for the next show. I think I have recommended before, but if you are interested in this style of photography, which is very difficult, but Michael does it very well, that will be a good place to learn how to do it.
Yeah, and
But
the thing is,
sometimes
there's no hard fast rule. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. It's how you as the photographer want to
Oh,
how you see that particular event and how you want to present it.
yeah, if you have something nice to show, even a nice face, a nice expression of the animal or whatever, and it is really very big crop, that's not so bad
no,
all the
no, no.
time,
Yeah,
except if you're doing it in all your photographs.
Exactly. It's not a good or bad. It's just
Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's too much.
it's the style. It's just the style of
Yeah.
photography, and also to look at ultimately it's about photography, correct? And
Yeah.
a good photo could be a close up, but a good photo could be a landscape or a person within a landscape. So the same apply to bird photography, correct?
yeah.
So
It's a personal opinion anyway.
it's a personal opinion.
What I like doesn't mean you like.
Yeah.
Well, it's like sometimes when you're taking an image, it doesn't matter whether it's a landscape or or a nature shot. I mean, I don't, and I'm guilty of this. I don't do it as often as I want to, but I like to take it in a landscape and an image, and then I like to and I should do it more often, is to then take it again as a vertical, because you get two different points of views from that kind of image. And then the same thing with cropping. I'll take an image and I'll say, I like this image the way it is, but then then the other part of my brain says, well, I'm gonna make a copy of that file, and I'm gonna crop it so I have two versions. I have the uncropped version and I have the cropped version.
Exactly. But you can.
Even sometimes you can take a rubber snake and put it around on a rock and make
Yeah,
it
that's
nice.
true too. Yeah.
Exactly. No, but the issue is that, and we when we had that discussion, Jeff, this somehow is also a reaction to the overcrop photos that sometimes you see in Instagram, because when you share social media, this all the style, and I explained there, of photography, which is more that you show the bird in the environment, is less conducive in terms of getting likes in Instagram, right? But they don't make it. They don't necessarily made it to be a worse photography. Actually, it's more difficult type of photography. So anyway, it's a discussion that we were having.
But I mean, no, it's a good discussion, because it's like I said, it's and sometimes, like I said, you take the file, and you may make 3 or 4 copies of it to have 3 or 4 different styles of that same image, depending on orientation, depending on how much you cropped it, and sometimes you crop. And sometimes, lots of times, especially with small birds and where they like to hang out, sometimes you tend to crop it more, not only to make it so they're larger in the frame, but because lots of times there's a lot of distractions in the image too.
Exactly. No, you got
that don't add anything to the image, and you don't want to show that, so you crop it.
You crop for effect, correct? So
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I mean, we are all here to learn, correct? And that's what I compliment somebody like Michael, or I recommend that website for that photographer because it's a style that is conducive to create some nice images, correct? I mean, remember that from Michael's last time when he showed that he purposely slowed down the shutter, correct? Although typically you use high shutter speed for bird photography because he wanted to show the raindrops, correct? So that is the creative side for Michael, correct? And what I'm saying is that because you're doing animal photography, that doesn't stop you from being creative, right?
Correct.
Okay.
No, that's it for Michael's images. So thanks a lot, Michael, for sending those in. And I'm glad you had a very successful trip and you went to a lot of fantastic places. So I'm sure, like you said, you're still editing and going through your images. And I'm sure, just like Terry, you got
Exactly.
a ton of images to go through yet. So we all look forward to what you guys show us in the upcoming months of the image review. Now, an image that David Stewart sent in just today was a shot that he got, an aurora shot that he got here near Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, is where he says aurora near Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
So he snuck that one in on me when I thought I was all done. Thank you, David. I'm never done. I'm telling you, I'm never done. I'm like, I think I'm done, and I'm not done. So I'm gonna go back, and I just got mine left to show, so I gotta kind of back up because of the order here in the images.
You like to have the last word, isn't it?
Well, I give people time to go to bed early and not see my images. That's why I show them last. Because my images usually put people to sleep, or my narration of my images put people to sleep. I want them to stay up. They'll hear about yours, but I'm okay if they fall asleep when I show mine.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a black and white conversion, obviously from a color image with a bit of tweaking.
But you see, Jeff, I mean, okay. So that's the discussion that we were having. That image with that trail where in the mud where the bird has walked is far better photograph than if you close up on the bird.
And it tells a story.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to show. I like the pattern of the footprints, so you could see that, okay, it walked a little, it stopped, it walked a little, it stopped.
Exactly.
And it had a weird pattern. And the reason I made it a black and white was because I didn't like the color tinge, the color of the mud in the color photograph. It just looked too bland to me. And I said, I think this would make a much better black and white image because I can have create a stronger contrast on those tracks where they really stand out better. And then
make Luis to go to bed, man.
And then added a little bit of pop on the bird to make the bird stand out. And I really liked it. I think it was 10 times better than the color version of the shot.
Yeah, but it's not. But there's a composition. Obviously, the color is important, but it's the fact that you recognize that the story was the trail leading into the bird.
Yeah.
The photography. You are not doing a capture, which sometimes we do because the first time you see something you want to photograph, correct? But that's a difference of photography, correct?
That's why Adam said you don't take a photograph, you make a photograph.
Yeah, you make a photograph. All these shots, by the way, too, are with the Z9 with the 800 PF. So every single shot is with the 800 PF.
Wow.
So the next image here is
Luis is wake up now again. Okay. You said him in bed on the first one.
Yeah, everybody in bed now. So this is the bluebird with a morning snack. I'm guessing this was probably, wasn't at 7 a.m. It was probably like at 9 a.m. So there was a pretty good amount of light. And you can't see it in the picture, but the park put up a bird box probably 30 feet away from this, which is not in the image, that the bluebird would fly into and eat it in the bird box. But it caught it and it landed here on this other post, so I grabbed it, and then it eventually flew into the bird box with the food item.
You see, Jeff, this year my bluebirds, the nest was raided, and by, I suspect, squirrels. Despite the protection, they came and took some of the eggs out. So they are looking for a new next box in my area.
The next image here is of a rain-soaked, and believe me, it wasn't just the bird that was soaked. Bob and I got caught in a deluge with our camera gear. I mean, the camera gear was totally drenched. We were soaked right down to our skivvies, as they say. I mean, we had, we were in these live oaks, they call them, and you would think, they're huge trees and tons of branches, but they don't have a lot of leaves on them per se, a lot of gaps in between the branches. So we couldn't even hide somewhere where we weren't going to get soaked. I mean, we're totally soaked, but there was I got a series of shots of the red-shouldered hawks. There were, young ones and adults. And so I decided to share this particular image. But yeah, this was quite an experience. It was worth it. We got the shots, but I learned a lesson. I gotta have a towel in the trunk of my car. So if my camera gets soaked, I got something to wipe it off with, because I was like using a larger lens cleaning cloth that I had on me to try to dry the camera off when I got to the car. But bad me, lesson learned. Put an old towel, soft towel, in the trunk of your car so you have something to wipe off your gear if you get caught in the rain like this.
Exactly.
You're young, you learn.
Yeah, I'm young. Yeah, I'm young, all right. Yeah, in my mind, I'm young. So this was a shot of saw the little video clip at the beginning of the show. This was my wonderful Thanksgiving turkey baby having a snack.
And it was on his own. Typically, they are.
This is I took it when it wandered away from the mom.
No, but what I mean, only one chick.
Only one. Now another photographer who Bob and I know pretty, fairly well and shoot with him whenever we see him. A wonderful photographer. He said there's another turkey that has 15 young.
Oh my goodness.
15 young, but this one only had one. One
survived.
Yeah. So I kind of like that. I wanted to get it with the, with this little weed next to it.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that it had something to kind of anchor that part of the image a little bit with that weed,
It shows the size of the bird. Yeah.
Yeah. But a beautiful little bird. I mean, I've seen young turkeys, but not like this young. Really, really neat. Now the next shot is one of my favorite woodpeckers, red-headed woodpecker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, in this case, you could see some berries over here. It got the berry, which is black, in its mouth, and it's actually getting ready to swallow it. It got the berry off whatever this vine, this plant is. Here the berries are not ripe, but farther down on the same tree there were some that were black, and it was leaning over and it was picking. I didn't know what it was eating at first. I go, what is it? Sticking its bill like near the plant life. And then it had something in its mouth, and I didn't know what it is until, I really cropped in on it, after I took the picture, and I said, "Oh, okay, he's eating some kind of a berry." But really, really, such a wonderful bird. I really, really love these birds.
It is.
Beautiful. They're just beautiful.
And clever too. Have the house beside the food.
Yeah, yeah. Now this next image is not, "Oh, I didn't set my settings right" shot. This was an intentional, whether you want to call it a successful interpretation of this bird or not, but I chose to do it this way.
Oh,
I set the shutter speed very low. At let's see, I'm trying to find my. I was at 1/500th of a second while it was flying in to land on where those oyster shells are, and I kind of like it. The water's blurry.
Yeah.
The bird's head and bill are sharp. The feet are sharp. The wings are blurry, but it's a different kind of shot. Not for everybody. But
it's very nice.
It's fun to
It shows the
experiment.
movement.
It's fun to experiment. I mean, that's. Don't
That's
like
what
I
they
said, it's not
Good
like
shot.
it's not like the film days. Don't be afraid to try different things. It's a digital camera. It ain't gonna cost you anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love the clamshells. They're just perfect,
Yeah.
and then everything is kind of blurry, and I like that.
Now, this next one
That's
is.
why I say you're looking for compliments.
No, I'm not looking for compliments. I mean, I appreciate them. I appreciate
Yeah,
them.
I know.
Usually you guys laugh at me, so I really do appreciate it. Now, this is a willet at low tide in marsh area. The tide was going out, and so there was an area where it was eating these really, really small fish, and I had fun with it. The lighting was a little bit challenging because, the angle of the light, the time of the day, it was very early in the morning. So that, you were kind of fighting the shadows a little bit, but I like how the bird is lit up and not blown out. It's lit up just a little bit. And I really liked it.
Deservedly.
Next one is here is a adult oyster catcher with one of 4 babies that it had. So those babies are really, really cute.
Yeah.
Really, really cute. And I'll tell you what the adults do is when they pry open an oyster or a clam, and it's amazing. I never realized that. I mean, down here, I think we must have a nuclear power plant nearby because these stinking clams are huge. Like if you lived out in Long Island, they have quahogs, everybody knows quahogs. They're really, really large. But I mean, they're pulling out chunks of meat out of these clams and oysters that are huge. And then they're trying to pulverize it with their bill and break off a small chunk of that meat to give the baby. But even the chunk that the baby's trying to eat most of the time is really, really, really a big chunk of meat. And it manages to eat it, but they constantly tenderize it and lean it against a shell or a rock, and they beat on it, and they try to, it isn't like they just hand the whole thing to the baby and it eats it. I mean, they got to work on it and get it to where the baby can eat it. It's really interesting to watch. Now this next shot is an extreme crop. Reason being is because this is the first time I got a shot of a baby of this species of bird that has some detail. This is a baby common gallinoo. They used to call him a common moorhen, and then at some point in time, the bird people of the world decided to rename it a common gallinoo. But this was an extreme crop for the main reason being is that
They're ugly.
The main color, they're ugly. Yeah. Well, it's funny. The wings look like totally undeveloped, and they look like little hands sticking out.
They
Yeah,
do.
look, yeah.
It's
But
beautifully ugly.
the problem with trying to get these birds is because they're in the water, they're in the freshwater part of the pond, a different pond, and that's where the gators are at night. And the gators leave the freshwater and they go into the brackish water, and then they go into the marsh, into the salt water. But there's gators around, and there's other birds that'll eat this bird, and so Mama. If I showed you the uncropped version, it would be a horrible shot because there's so many branches around this baby. They keep the bird in a very isolated area, and it's eating chickweed and other grasses and stuff like that. And Mom's feeding it, and you can't get a good shot. It isn't necessarily really, really far away from you because it's towards the shore or the embankment, but there's tree branches and everything sprawled out all around it. So it's really, really hard to get a shot through all that branches and all that crap. It's hard to actually get an image that you can show. But this is the first shot I was ever able to get of one that was this young, and it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. It's not a great picture, but it's the story behind it and what you got to do to try to get the image. Even though it's very like a powder puff bird here, very soft. You could tell the feathers are very, 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 very soft right now. Very young bird, but interesting to take. Not any kind of picture that's going to go on my wall, but it's just interesting. Next one is my last image is just a pair of oyster catchers in flight.
Nice.
And and talking about just techniques and what people tend to do is some of my images I take are the wing tips, or a wing tip might be a little bit soft, indicating motion. The other one might be sharp. Sometimes I go for trying to get everything sharp on the bird. So I always try to take images of birds at different shutter speeds. I mean, if you want everything tack sharp, if it's a larger bird like this, medium size, a large bird, if you have enough light, just set your shutter speed to 1/4000th of a second, and everything is going to be tack sharp. But like I said, I took that other one at 1/500th of a second because I wanted to get a different result. So
sometimes it's nice to have sharp, and sometimes it's nice to be out of focus the sides. It shows the movement.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Gustavo's images there of those birds, were phenomenal. I mean, the detail, the sharpness, and like I said, there's it's just fun to play with different settings and every tells a story, a little bit different story, depending on what your settings are. But in this case,
and have fun. Have fun.
Have fun.
That's the main point.
So that is it for our images for tonight's show. We had 96 images.
Wow.
We will.
They were excellent tonight.
We will. Yeah. I mean,
Every night.
every show, man. I tell you, everybody. It's like what Geraldo. What's that famous chef? Used to always say, "Bam, kick it up a notch."
Yeah. Bam. Yeah.
Bam, kick it up a notch. So I think every image review, everybody kicks it up a notch. I mean, it's really a blast. I almost feel sad that we don't get to experience everything at the same time, because obviously I see them before you guys do. But it's just amazing what everybody's doing here, and I wish we had I wish we had a young, some young people that come in and are maybe, new to photography. They would learn so much from the group of photographers that we have on this show. And and unfortunately, we don't, we have yet to find a way to attract those people. But I think that there aren't. I don't think there's another show out there that really focuses on sharing the work of people that visit the channel, and have we truly have formed a tight knit group of people who just love what they're doing. And I'd say probably 90% of us don't make a nickel doing it. We just do it because we like to do it, and everybody likes to share what they do, and we have enough of those on the third week of the month show. Thanks a lot to Gustavo, where we have people sharing techniques on how to do certain things, or different methods of doing things, or just sharing trips to give us ideas of, gee, maybe we would like to go there someday, or what have you. So it's just a thrill to do this photo image review every month, because it's everybody's time to shine, But let's go through these quick. So Randall had the first. Randall was first at bat tonight. He beat out Bob.
Yeah, it was the Nocton Classic f1.4, and it's a 40 millimeter M mount lens on the Nikon ZF.
I like this. I like that bench. That's interesting.
Hard for sleeping.
That bench is made out of real wood. There it is, guys. The adapter, the TechArt TZM-02. Brought to you by Randall.
Yeah, I put it together. When you're done with the review, I'll show it to you real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, the water's clean now, but they were cleaning it when I was taking the shots, so it was really green. But
and then we got images of the Slugfest baseball game out in Philadelphia that Bob Reppert captured. And baseball players come in all shapes and sizes. I think as you see that ball coming towards Bob, I think he got. I want to ask Bob if he got hit in a bad area.
Exactly.
wow.
And he said, "Bob's down. Get the ambulance."
He hit him.
Yeah. Well, that's what they call a foul ball.
Yeah.
But like shots like this, shots of that we'll see that Jeff Sluter got a shot of his grandchild, and pictures that Jim, a real Nikon lover, got. Those are the ones that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, probably 95% of people, that's what they used their cameras for. I mean, it was the family get-togethers, the holidays, their kids growing up, capturing their kids growing up, the vacations they took with their children, places they took their children, birthday parties, stuff like that. I mean, there weren't. I mean, I don't remember anybody other than my mom had a relative. It might have been a second cousin or first cousin. I don't remember. I only met the person, I think, once. He happened to shoot Nikon. He was a professional wedding photographer. And I remember, I think I only went to his house one time, and his whole basement, he had professional, the big automated process to develop film, like what you'd have like what Kodak would use. And he had all that gear in his basement for doing it. This was in the film days, obviously, for developing his own film, doing his own prints. And I was totally blown away. I mean, it basically took up a good part of his basement, all the developed images for his wedding photography that he did. I've never seen anything else like it from anybody else that I ever knew.
Jeff.
This is Jeff Sluter's.
That's nice, baby.
I think that's great that he takes his grandson out to take walks and stuff in nature and check out nature. Like I said, too many kids nowadays are trapped in their house. They don't get to see stuff like that. So,
Jumping spider.
yeah, that's a cool spider. And then the spider has that purple coloration on it from the flower petal too, on the top.
Yeah.
Has that color cast from the flower. And he's got the green herons. And then he's got the thistles. And then he's got the shot, the shot from the next Star Wars movie. And then we got some wonderful landscape shots from Anita. I like the light on these flowers. What were they again? Crocuses?
Yes.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
What I like, unlike where I live, Nita always has beautiful clouds in the sky. Clouds. Whether it be like a storm coming type of look, or just nice white fluffy clouds or something. Whereas where I am, I mean, so many times either the sky is like white almost, or just blue with no clouds whatsoever. And then we got the lizard that I call the snake from
The
Louise.
sneezer.
Yeah, the slizzard.
Boy. I mean, it looks so wet. You know that snake right there.
It's probably wet.
Yeah.
Must be, but
I just like, I mean, snakes are interesting because of the patterns, and it's like a piece of a puzzle. Like every scale, everything looks like something like, could be like it's interconnected, like a piece of a puzzle getting put together, just texture wise, and it's just really, really neat.
like the name, whip snake. That's perfect.
It's wonderful.
And then I don't know. Then we got this other guy that snuck pictures, and I don't know who he is.
If I find him, I'll scream.
The only guy I know that finds a crocodile, puts it in a vise, and stretches it out so it looks this long.
AI.
That I tell you, that is a scary shot. That really, if that doesn't make people nervous,
And they
I
fast.
mean, that really does make me nervous looking at that. And then your version of the bee eaters.
Yeah. I promise I have a better than this.
Ah, they're pretty birds. And then you got the eagle. And you said this was the sea eagle, right? African sea eagle. I
That's
believe
how they call it, yeah.
what they call it, yeah. And then Robert sent us a series of images with the lady slipper. And then he went bear hunting.
Yeah, I worry where the mother bear would be. Yeah.
Robert's not showing you where he's 10 feet away holding a jar of honey.
So he's indoors when he took this picture.
Yeah, he's indoors. The cat's on the ledge, looking out either a window or door frame with glass on it, one or the other.
As the cat for protector, isn't it?
The cat's going to protect them from the cub.
And the cub just wants to find someone to play with.
This is gorgeous. This is just
That's so
gorgeous.
cute.
That would go on any photo calendar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he managed to pick up the horsies on the way home. And then Jim, I'll tell you, Jim puts a lot of effort or gets really nice shots of his grandkids and his family when
They like make the horse pink.
when they do things together. Jim's very good at.
Being a grandpa.
This is the dad. This is the dad tossing the kid, and that's
Man, that's high.
that's very high. Yeah.
Gee. First time I saw that, I thought they dropped him.
Well, he fell out of an airplane and he lost his parachute.
Ah.
Just happened to be over the pool. But this, I mean, for him, he sees an image. In this case, he sees the image. The camera, isn't like in his lap or anything. He sees the image what he considers to be an interesting image right before his eyes as it's happening, and grabs his camera in real time and gets a picture. I mean, Jim's very good at doing that. And then we got, the amazing Gustavo with his apartment tree in his yard with various occupants. Do some of them pay HOA fee to have their the insides of their nest areas cleaned out for them by housekeeping?
Food delivery. Garbage taking.
That's cleaning services.
Now, Gustavo, this was an auto capture image? I mean,
That's a combination. I know image, or if depending on the situation.
I like this one a lot.
The majority of the ones that are arriving like that, auto capture is not that good.
Yeah.
I watch from far away, and I trigger remotely when I see them flying towards the nest.
So
Now,
how long do you
shooting
take?
I'm assuming you're shooting at 20 frames a second.
Yes, this is all at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
So if I put a presentation, we discuss what is appropriate for certain things. You arriving or leaving the nest, 3D tracking, not 3D tracking, and of course you have trial and error.
Well, what gets me, I'll be honest with you, a pet peeve I have is with certain people, or mostly people that really aren't experienced photographers will make the comment like, oh, you shot that at 20 frames per second or 30 frames per second. And they go, why? Because you can't get it. You're not good enough to get it on the first shot. They'll make some stupid ass comment like that.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that you're not shooting at 20 or 30 frames per second because you're not capable of getting, a shot at 4 frames a second. You're doing it because you're trying to have a choice of the most wing positions and positions of the head and the angle of the body and, so on and so forth, that you're not doing a spray and pray is what the common term that people would say all the time when they heard rat-a-tat-tat-tat back in the DSLR day. You're doing it to ensure that you're going to get something on that bird that's going to be special, and some people to this day don't understand that.
Well.
And here, instead of having mud in your eye, you got bug in your eye.
Exactly.
And then you got the Walmart rubber snake trick.
Exactly.
I love this shot, though. I think I'm picking on the shot because I like it so much. I don't know.
No, that's okay.
Well, I told if I saw a snake, I'll tell you, I guarantee you, if I saw a snake on a rock, it wouldn't look this perfect. There's no way. And then we got a series of shots from David with the
T-Rex time.
drum heller with the T-Rex making an appearance, looking for food. Voila, there's lunch. There's the lunch box. There's the paleontologist. And the one looking for the leftovers. I think as he worded it, this is what happens if you're hanging around too long, standing too long. You don't age well. And then we get into the colorful birds of Europe that Scubarazzi was gracious enough to send us with combination of bee eater shots. and kingfisher shots.
Peter. That's fucking amazing
Wonderful.
color.
I like this with the attitude.
Mhm.
With the attitude. This is my branch. Get out of here.
Oh, come over here. Where were you all this time?
Yeah, what are you two doing? Yeah, the ones on the right are the lookouts. The ones
What
on
they
the left,
do.
one on the left are having fun.
Takes two to tango,
These two to tango.
if we can call it tango nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Beautiful kingfishers.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
Catch this. So you have to be waiting. Stay there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's too big for them.
We got ourselves a winner. Obviously, did not get the fish out of a can of sardines on this one.
Well, you don't know that. You weren't there.
I never saw a sardine that big though. And then you got the handoff.
That's beautiful.
Da, da, da. That's bribing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, let me tell you, I give you 3 fish, you give me something else. Knock on wood, no pun intended. And then the comical dancing dog routine. And the wrestling match.
Which dog is the Swiss one?
What's that?
Which dog is the Switzerland one?
Yeah. And we got the journey of Mr. Michael Drees here.
You know, not until you pointed out that bird on that log, I thought it was a branch. Wow.
Yeah, there's another one right here. See it? Right here.
Oh, wow. Oh,
You got
okay.
one there. You got one there. You got one there.
Oh,
You got
wow.
one there.
Where's
That's
Waldo?
what I was looking at right there.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know if I found them all.
Wow.
That's very nice.
One of Roy's parakeets saw this would be saying, "Pretty bird, pretty bird." And as Gustavo mentioned, a nice environmental shot.
Yes. And the light was so good.
And then David snuck in another Aurora Borealis shot.
Yeah, he said he shot that this morning.
In the
Yeah.
morning, yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll fly through mine here quick.
That's what. Good, very good.
Food delivery.
Food delivery, yeah. Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah.
Yeah, he even looked soaked.
Yeah.
After the shower.
Yeah.
This is cute. Keep it around until Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I'll call it.
Yeah, I mean, I should track this one and say I got you marked. I got you marked for dinner.
Yeah, come here. I'll feed you.
I'll feed you. I'll fill you. I'll feed you stuff that fattens you up real quick.
And then you will feed me. That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Give and take.
I tell you, my two favorite woodpeckers are the red-headed and the pileated. Are my two favorites, I think.
It's a very nice one. I don't know why you have a problem with this photograph, but it's very nice for me.
I was shaking too much.
It's very
I-
nice.
I don't drink.
Shows
Coffee.
movement, man.
I don't drink coffee. This is what happens if you're not a coffee drinker.
Yeah.
Well,
School
it's
time.
funny. A friend of Bob and I sent me a text saying, "Hey, the oyster catcher had its babies," and he says, "There's three of them were born in the morning." He says, "I think there's going to be a fourth one hatching soon." So we went there. I mean, our schedules are just such where we usually take our images in the early morning. We don't go in the afternoon. Plus, the traffic down here. Getting this place in the afternoon is a lot more cars, a lot more traffic. It's kind of a hassle. So, but I said, look, we got to try to get the babies while they're there, while we could see them. And so we went in the afternoon. And from the time he sent me to my friend sent us a text message, 4 hours later, we get there in the afternoon, and now there were 4 babies instead of 3. So it had the last one while we between the time he was there in the morning and the time we got there in the afternoon.
Stroll on the beach.
And that's that. That's that. Where is everybody here?
You have
Behind the dunes.
do you have Michael as well, correct?
Yeah, I showed Michael's.
Okay, and you show them in the order that we.
Showed him in the order. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we're not showing up. Well, here we go. Okay.
So, Mr. Jeff, it's 12 p.m. Past 12 p.m.
Yeah, it's all right. We can go a little bit more. I'm alive here.
Well,
I'm
You
pumping.
sure?
I'm pumping.
yes.
I'm pumping. So we'll go maybe for till 12:30. So I'll let Randall show the his gadget. Let me make Randall
Hey.
bigger here.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It said 50 millimeter when it was actually a 40 millimeter, and it
40.
wasn't cropped or anything. But you put it at infinity, and then I have it like on aperture mode, and I have it wide open at 1.4. Let me get it back here so you can see it. And it just, so I had this at the Sun Garden, and people just came up. What type of film camera is that? It's wonderful. So
You should you know what you got to become a better liar. Randall. You got to say, oh, I custom built this camera in my workshop.
Yeah.
Scuba Ozzy, take it easy. Have a good one.
Nice night.
Good night.
And
Night, Paul.
you have to you got to make a story out of it, Randall. All those countless hours of in the workshop.
It's certainly a very attractive camera.
Yeah,
It is.
It is a nice camera.
Yeah, they had, what I wanted was, I had the black ones and I got rid of them because I didn't want all the black. and then they started coming out with the colors, and then they came out with the second generation with the chrome top, and that's what I like. So I got this. What is it? The L bracket, all right, or the base plate. No, I'm sorry. No small rig, just the thumb grip, because I didn't want to. You know, when you have that black piece of silicone.
Mm.
So, but I usually have this lens on it. So just imagine this with the silver lens. It's
That's
and
nice
everybody
too.
like that too. Yeah. Let's see.
Hey guys, do we have any? Did you see anything in the chat that we should backtrack on and comment on?
There was a discussion that we have it recently about the cropping or not cropping and the style of bird photography. So
Yeah.
there was that was
Right,
what we have.
Yeah, I mean,
By the way, I see you both, Randall and Gustavo, on how call it, Matt Irwin, and on Grace. But I'm not participating. I'm just watching.
Yeah. Matt is nice. So I like to comment there. I don't comment in many other channels, but in this channel, I like to make some comments there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking back because I don't get to see the chat, so I'll have to go back and look at this tomorrow. But
I don't think it was
a lot of active conversation going on tonight in the chat too, which is really good. So I mean, I don't know if there's really anything. Like I said, I don't want to.
Let's talk a little bit about upcoming. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you show the upcoming stuff? And I'm going to skip the rumors because there really wasn't anything significant. The only thing I'm going to comment on is I spend, because I haven't been able to really do a lot lately. I've been watching a lot of YouTube content and whatnot, all various types of content. And it's just funny, you go on there and you have somebody, like Tech Radar or these other sites, they'll come up with, they'll make it out like the Z9 II, here we know everything about the Z9 II. Here we know everything about the Z6 IV and blah 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 and what they're going to call the D500 replacement or a D850 replacement or, oh my God, it's like,
That's
people
why
are,
I hate the rumors.
people are. Well, I mean, there's rumors, and then there's rumors based on some information that does end up being true, and then
99.9999999%. It is just somebody said something which he heard from the cousin of the first uncle of the friend. Come on. All of this is just a clickbait.
That fifth
Nothing
cousin
more than
married.
just a clickbait.
That
Nothing else.
fifth cousin married the engineer that works for Nikon.
Yeah. I had enough. I never anymore. I never look any rumors more than a year now. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
From one stupid thing to the other.
Yeah, I mean,
They know when it comes out. They know how it will be. They will know everything. Except Nikon doesn't know that. The Nikon doesn't know, but who cares what Nikon does? Or knows?
Well, in the end, you wait and see what actually comes out, and then you know what it is.
Exactly.
It's like a weather forecast. Okay, if you watch the weather, and you say, "Oh, I believe everything the weatherman tells me," well, you're going to be wrong 50% of the time. I used to always say, if you want to know the weather, stick your head out the window, and you'll know the weather. right?
Yeah.
You want to know the weather? Walk outside. You'll know the weather.
You come the new Sony, you will come the new Canon, the new Nikon, the new this, and they have this and they have that. Yeah, okay. And 6-7 months, a year later, come the camera has nothing to do with this, and nobody remembers anything about what I've said before. And forget everything. You say, yeah, okay. All this is clickbaits, nothing else. Just they try to make money.
No, exactly. And,
So,
all these channels don't show photography like we show here. Right?
yeah,
Photos, real photos.
real photos from real people,
Exactly.
not AI. Real photos from real people with real birds, except for the snake photo.
Sometimes the snakes are not. But okay.
I have not acquired any new old cameras. I've been
Gustavo, this snake will be historical. You know
very
that.
historical.
Nobody goes to
I've
forget
had to
about
spend
it.
my money on other things. I gotta. Probably too late this year, but I gotta have my whole
The
backyard
guy
repotted.
above you, the guy above you, you thought was your friend. Now you know he's real character.
No, I'm just jealous. That's
Exactly.
the honest answer is I'm jealous because I'm never going to see a shot like that. Or if I do, the shot I'm going to get is when the snake is lunging with its fangs sticking out, with the venom dripping out of its mouth, and it's a foot away from my camera lens. And then the venom dissolves the multi-coated lens. It gets
You go far, man.
you know, I'm gonna have one of those kind of snakes. That's the paper. That's the picture I'm gonna get. You know.
So anyway, they have a little bit of a discussion here. Otherwise, we're going to drag this for a long time, and you're going to blame us here. So this is the schedule thing we have in the pipeline, correct? So we got our general meeting number 16 that will be on June the 20th. For that, we have a presentation in the pipeline. So I need to check with Robert Rosato about it. But that's for that specific time. So we are okay on that one. Now, on the image review of Saturday, July the 4th, Jeff was asking me, given that this is going to be a holiday, whether we wanted to ask you if you wanted to still have that meeting on July the 4th. I'm not going to be available. Jeff is going to be available and is willing to do it, right? But we wanted to know. So by when we get together again on June the 20th, let us know, because we can accommodate that one slightly before the July the 4th or after the July the 4th. My indication would be, given that it's the image review, that we will keep it on that day, right? But that would be my preference. But we want to hear from you. So remember, next time, in June the 20th, when we get together, we're going to talk about the July the 4th meeting. Then on the general meeting 17, which is on July the 18th, that one we don't have a presentation, I think, that one yet. So if anybody wants to present something on that day, let us know, correct? Now, the next meeting following that, which will be a special meeting on a Wednesday, we have the presentation from Luis, which I know is ready, right? Then on the following image review, not the July one, but the August one, Jeff have an event around that area, so he's traveling for a few days before and after August the 1st, correct? And most likely, if we do the show, you will have to send me the picture, but we will let you know when we formalize that I'm going to be available. So instead of sending the image for that meeting to Jeff, you will have to send it to me. And of course, then we have the meeting in August and July. So that's what I was telling Terry, that you opportunity for you to present either in August or in July in one of these other meetings, right? If you are ready, but we wait until you get over the more pressing things that you have in the coming weeks. So after that, June the 20th, when we get our general meeting, I will engage with you and then say
Yeah, yeah.
where we are. Okay.
We know you still got 49,575 pictures that you're still going through.
Exactly.
Thereabouts.
You are jealous. That's why.
Hey, at least you could do it with an attitude and say, well, I got 50,000 pictures and you don't.
So I'm keen to keep the image review, because I don't know by now, Jeff, we had done image review consistently for probably like 3 years, right?
Oh yeah.
And so
during the time that that Chuck was active, was doing the show. We started the image review. At that time, we called it a photo review, and then in the beginning, when for a while, I called it a photo review, and then we changed it to the image review. But it's been three years easy.
So we, in principle, we want to keep it, but we are cognizant of the travel scheduling of some people, particularly Mr. Jeff, in this case for the August one, and obviously of the holidays. But I think, in principle, I would like to see, now with the general meeting, we have more flexibility. We can slide it. And of course, we have the special meetings on the Wednesday, which are better time for the people in Europe when they are making presentation, like in this case from Luis. But let us know. So if anybody that is listening still at this show that want to present something, let us know, and we will try to schedule within the slots that we have here, right? So that's what I have with regards to that. So in principle, our next image review should be on July the 4th, and I will check with Bob Rosario to make sure that we are okay still with him on June the 20th. So I'm thinking about doing a small presentation, as I told you, about the use of remote triggering, auto capturing, focus limiting for the type of photography that I do here, because I do it regularly. So I would like to share what I have learned over the few years. So apart from that, that's what I have. This is just the thumbnail for the presentation by Luis on July 22nd from Sri Lanka. It will be a combination. I have seen some of the images of travel, but with nature photography and some beautiful species that he managed to get some photographs. Right. So that's what I have, Jeff. I presume so. If you want the meeting to continue on July the 4th, let us know. If you wanted to have it another time, also let us know, and we can poll everybody on the next meeting to decide what to do.
Yeah. The only just to kind of end this in the next. Wonder why we got this here on the screen.
What?
Anyway, I'll just go over. I only wrote down 3 Nikon rumors, so I'll spit them out real quick, and I'm not going to get into the other brands. For those of you that are lucky enough to have acquired the Nikkor, the newer Nikkor Z70-200 f2.8 VR S version 2.
This is the additional photo that I added for this show, which I call "Did I Smell Bad?"
Yeah.
You're getting personal. He's coming
home and saying, "Did I smell bad?"
Before he go inside, you see. Very himself.
So there is humor in nature photography every now and then.
Always.
So if you got that lens, there's a version 1.1 firmware update that fixes an issue with slow autofocus response when using it with the 2x Z-mount teleconverter. And conflicting statements about when supposedly the next shipment of that lens is scheduled. It's in September, and then there'll be another commentary that says it's going to be later than September. B&H, I know Paul's Photo didn't have any. B&H doesn't have any. Service Photo doesn't have any. Amazon supposedly has some. It would be interesting to find out if the lenses that Amazon's selling, if they're USA warranty lenses or if they're not. I'm not 100% sure, or that you'd even be able to figure that out until after you got it. I don't know. Nikon Rumors has a list of all the discounted Nikon cameras and lenses in the USA because they got another sale going on, as well as other camera manufacturers have their sales going on. But check with either you can go to Nikon Rumors and see the total list of these items that are on sale, or you can just check with your favorite retailer and go to their website and look and see what the prices are on your favorite product that you want to buy, regardless of brand, because they're all having sales right now. What was interesting, the last thing I'm going to say before we say our good nights to everybody is, if you're old enough, which I'm not, I had to ask some of the older guys on the panel because I'm so much younger than everybody else. If you remember the Nikon R1C1 wireless close-up speed light system that you could mount 2 or more flashes like around a ring, and you use it for close-up photography and macro photography. That system was around back in the DSLR days, if not before. I mean, that system it still works great. It still works great. But it's $300 off right now of the one that has two flashes on it. And but it'll work with, they say it will work with the Z mount cameras. So it's not something that's exclusive to DSLRs. They say it will work with the Z mount cameras, which I think is important because, if you get into really get into macro and want to control the lighting.
I have a Godox like that working with the Z fine. You put it on the front part and it has up to 6 lights. You can 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 6.
It was a wonderful system.
Yeah. It really was, and I was kind of surprised to. I didn't realize, because I'm not in the market for one, but I was kind of surprised. I go, wow, they still make it, because we all know that Nikon doesn't make that many flash units anymore, and they're not making any new flash units anymore, and haven't for quite a few years. So I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, because that was a good setup, and still works fine. If you're interested in it, you can get up to $300 off, and I don't know when they say up to, if it depends on what extra stuff you buy with it, or otherwise maybe it's a lot less off. I don't know, but you could check it out.
If you buy the whole thing,
yeah,
about $200,000, they can cut you $300.
So,
yeah, that's the one I have.
So you got the Mozman is commenting, and Gustavo threw this up, that the Godox MF12s.
Yeah.
So
very nice and very versatile system.
But hey, it's something to think about. And one thing I haven't done yet is I bought that light ring.
Yeah.
A while back, magnetic light ring that I could put on the front of my lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried that out yet, and I want to, but I don't know when I'm going to get to it, because I'm not really going to be able to take pictures for a little while. So
I was between the ring and something more advanced, and I find the Godox much better price than Nikon and other brands.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and the Nikon's always going to be more expensive than the Godox.
Yeah. But it is. I haven't used it lately. I used it on a couple of times, but I've done it lately. I've done much of photography except the Botswana anyway.
So it was an essential tool for people that were doing a lot of macro, right?
Yeah, if you make macro, it's very nice to have one. Yeah,
Yeah. But
because
anyway,
it's nice. You can control the light,
Mhm.
position, and the color. They can give you slides. You can put the colors on if you want to.
yeah, I think they had, didn't they had like gel kits or something you
Yeah.
could snap on them to change the color. Yeah.
I've seen some other ones now. Nowadays they have some new stuff, but not too expensive, I think. Which how can I describe? I don't remember the name. It's like a snake, you know. You can adjust the lights whatever you like. It's multi-break, like a branches. I don't know how can I.
Yeah. Well, some of them sell stuff that you attach to your tripod legs and stretch them out. You know, like
Yeah.
if you're shooting with on a tripod, you're doing macro on a tripod, which is the best way of being able to do it. You just attach stuff off of your tripod and do it that way.
The whole issue with flash photography is that as the camera technology has progressed, our need for flash photography has decreased a little bit, correct? And become we have more latitude in the images to be able to read the shadows and the darks and the bright colors. But I guarantee you, in my opinion, there will be a resurgence of flash photography because obviously with flash photography you get greater amount of control, particularly when there are more global shutters, right? So there will be a renaissance, I believe, for flash photography. And of course, if people do a studio photography, still that's the best quality.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be a need out there, like you said, for wedding photographers, studio photographers, fashion photographers, people doing concerts, you know.
But think about nature photography. We used to have those better beamers attached to the flash to try to do nature photography. That was a peg in the neck, right?
Yeah.
So we don't use them as much anymore, right? But there will be a time when they come back again. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be considerate of your subject too. I mean, some critters don't like getting hit with a flash, even though it's maybe, you know, you're using it in manual mode and you're knocking down the power output or whatever. Some don't like it, some don't care. It all depends. If you're in an area shooting birds that's a tourist area where they see a lot of people, there's a lot of activity, they don't probably give a darn whether you shoot a flash at them or not. But
very low power for filling flash. It was no more like the occasional flashes of lightning, right? It's just that again, it got a little bit. People became abusive, right? And they have a bird, then they're blasting it all the time. So it went out of fashion, but also there was not so much need anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, it is another tool for a nice technician.
Exactly.
If the technician knows what he's doing and use the tool the proper way, he has a nice result.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jeff.
Anyway, I'm going to call it a night. Hey, everybody that was on the panel tonight, those still here, Chuck visiting us early in the show. We appreciate you, Chuck, coming on and joining us. And for everybody in the chat, thank you so much for watching, engaging, sharing, and you know, we look forward to seeing you the third week of the month.
Yes.
And
See you in 20.
and we will take it from there. So
See you in 2 weeks.
You guys.
Bye bye, everybody.
have a good one.
Bye, everyone.